was an ambush.
How many did you save?
Just like a dream.
You did the only thing you could do. And you lost.
Like a dream.
Look, we're still in this thing.
The day you walked away.
But we have no idea what we're dealing with.
Unfortunately.
Things are getting worse around here, aren't they?
Boyd, we're out of food.
Too many things are changing. I have to remember.
Remember what?
What's missing?
Nothing that I've been through is possible.
I think you're here for what's in the basement.
This place will not break us. We can still win. But the only way we go home is together.
Hello. Come on, go. The game here is rigged. Why can't they leave us alone?
No matter what this place throws at us, we're gonna find our way home.
Everybody just talks about how afraid they are of dying. Well, I don't think that's the worst thing that can happen to you here.
Hello?
Like a dream.
Are you looking for these?
Into my life.
You can't save them all.
But things are really how they seem.
Where is everyone?
Oh
my God.
The night everyone died. That was the day that I met the boy in white.
You know the boy in white.
Run on the hill! Get back to the bus!
Are you looking for these?
Why can't they leave us alone?
What is up? What is up, ladies and gentlemen, one and all? Welcome to Fromville Friday. TGIFF, it is indeed. Thank God it is Fromville Friday. And we are just a day away now, guys. Just 26 hours, to be precise, away from episode 4 hitting our screens. And episode 4 certainly looks like it is going to be another barn burner indeed from start to finish. Episode 3 was definitely a little bit more of a slower episode, but not so much slow. I kind of look at it as a little bit more of a setup episode. They were definitely setting some massive things up to happen, most likely in episodes 4, 5, 6, and the rest of the season. So I cannot wait to see how all of this is going to play out. What is going to happen when this ambulance reaches the town? Who's going to survive? Who's not going to make it? Will Victor and his father have this long-awaited reunion that we are all hoping will happen? What exactly will happen in episode 4? Who's going to live? Who's going to die? Who's going to be reunited? And who's going to be left face down on the concrete? Welcome one, welcome all. So glad to be with you here tonight. It's been a little while since we've done a Fromville Friday. I've been super busy lately. So I've been kind of taking Fridays off these last few weeks because we go pretty hard on Saturday, Sunday, and then again on Tuesday. But I figured I got finished with my work a little bit early today, so I figured let's do a Fromville Friday. Let's dive into this, and let's take a look at what we can expect to see for episode 4. And I want to hear from you guys in the chat. What are some of your predictions for this 4th episode? Who do you think will make it out of this ambulance? Who do you think will not make it? Will Victor get that reunion, or will he be left wanting? I want to hear from y'all. Welcome one, welcome all. Let me scroll up here. Let's see who is in this awesome chat this evening. Let's see who we got in here. We got Kiwi Skirt. What is up, Kiwi? Always good to see you, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. See Breezy K in the house. So pumped. Hell yes, my friend. I am pumped as well. I'm really looking forward to this episode. Again, just based off the trailer, based off some of the stills that they have released, it definitely looks like this is going to be a very intense episode. Not just intense with seeing this ambulance arrive at night, and of course, a nighttime arrival is always incredibly dangerous. It's something we're actually finally going to see a proper nighttime arrival instead of just hearing about them. We know the last time we heard about a nighttime arrival, it was Donna and her sister, and they did not fare all too well. So I am looking forward to seeing a proper nighttime arrival on screen for the first time, which should be a lot of fun. And of course, what is going to happen? Who's going to make it from this freaking ambulance? Who's not going to make it? And then, of course, we have this awesome Victor storyline that seems to be taking off that I know a lot of us are very much looking forward to. What kind of answers will we receive through Victor and his story time with Sarah? What kind of reveals can we look forward to? This looks like it is going to be a fun one, guys. Looks like it's going to be a fun one. Got Margie in the house. What is up, Margie? Good to see you. We got Big Dago in the house. What is up, Big Dago? We got Ando in the building. We got From Theory in the house as well. Welcome one. Welcome all. See Crazy Donut in the house. What is up, Crazy Donut? Welcome, welcome, welcome. See Makada is in the house. What is up? Always good to see you. Hey, peeps. Whoop, whoop. Ready to go. Episode 4 is going to be fire. Yes, I think it will be. I really think this is going to be a very fun episode. Again, episode 3 was definitely one of those episodes where you kind of take a step back, you take a breather a little bit. Episodes 1 and 2 started off with such a massive bang that it was kind of proper for episode 3 to be a little bit more of a slower paced episode, one that kind of set some things up for future episodes. And they nailed it at that. And episode 3 was great, don't get me wrong. But it was definitely more of a setup episode for this episode in particular and what else is going to be coming during the rest of the season. So I'm ready, man. I am ready. From has been killing it so far in season 3. I could not be more pleased with the season so far. We got Elizabeth in the house. What is up, Elizabeth? Good to see you as well. I see Vic is in the building. What is up, Vic? Always good to see you, my friend. Got my brother Ando in the house. Xavier's in the house as well. What is up, Xavier? Good to see you as well. Hey to the Fromily. Yes. Hey to the Fromily indeed. Welcome, Fromily. Welcome one. Welcome all. Always good to see the Fromily. We got Leah Bradley in the house. What is up, Leah? Good to see you. We got Howdy in the house. Well, howdy right back to you as well, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, the return, Ando, the return of Fromville Friday. It's good to be back on Fridays. Again, it's been a little while since we've done a Friday stream, but it's good to be back. It is good to be back. We got Jehovah's with the help. What is up, J-A-H? I don't know how. I am horrible at pronouncing some names, so I am going to call you J-E-H. Jay, what is up, Jay? Good to see you. We got Vanessa M in the building. What is up, Vanessa M? We got one of our awesome resident mods, Delsenia Dames Tucker, in the building. And Delsenia and Kiwi have been just absolutely phenomenal in terms of, mods that you just dream about to have on a channel one day. People that you never have to worry about the chat because they have it on lock. And people that I genuinely trust, too. So I'm so freaking grateful for Delsenia and for Kiwi and for everybody else, the rest of the mods as well. It was such awesome mods on the channel. I really can't thank each and every one of you enough. And that's why we're working on something special for the mods to happen a little bit later on this year, which I am very hopeful is actually going to happen, actually. So be on the lookout, mods. I have a small thank you coming each and every one of your way later on this season. Just a small token for me to say thank you to all the awesome mods in the chat. What is up, Anna? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, Anna's seen some spoilers. Can't wait for the next episode, which is all I'm going to say. Oof. Okay. Okay. Dropping it out there. Drop that mic. I like it. I like it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I've been trying to stay away from any spoilers per se. I've kind of only relegated myself to watching the trailer and the stills that MGM has released. But even seeing some of those stills are sometimes a little spoilery at times. So I try to stay away from everything else until the episode comes around. Because, yeah, you don't want to be spoiled too much. I mean, it's nice to see a trailer. But anything beyond that, I try to stay away from myself. But welcome, Anna. So glad to have you. I'm glad you are looking forward to the episode. I very much am as well. And speaking of Kiwi Skirt, we got Kiwi gifting 5 memberships. Wow, thank you so much, Kiwi. As if Kiwi doesn't do enough around here. Dang. 5 memberships gifted from the phenomenal Kiwi Skirt. Thank you so much, Kiwi, for the gifted memberships. And welcome. Welcome one, welcome all to all of the new members. Be sure to make use of all of those awesome custom from emojis we have down there. We got tons for you guys to choose from, and more will be incoming. I did promise a Dale emoji, and I think I finally found the perfect shot to create a Dale emoji out of. You guys wanted the Dale emoji. You are getting the Dale emoji. It will be uploaded on the channel for tomorrow night's stream. I'm so sorry I didn't get it in there tonight. I just completely spaced it out. But the Dale emoji will be uploaded for tomorrow night's stream, that I promise you. Got a lot of requests for a Dale emoji. And I think Star is the one we have to thank for to start that freaking trend. Thank you, Star. Star saddled me with Dale early in the season, and I just can't get rid of the guy. I just can't get rid of the guy ever since. Freaking Dale. I mean, but then again, when Dale is, popping off with funny dialogue like this, I'm not going to lie. I'm starting to like Dale a little bit.
This is a really bad idea.
There's nothing else strong enough to pry that trap open.
You really want to start pulling apart the ancient tower of holy scary shit?
I'm sure whoever built it won't mind.
Oh, Jesus. Fuck.
You don't want to mess with the ancient tower of holy scary shit, according to Dale. But yes, that will be uploaded. And again, thank you so much, Kiwi Skirt, for the gifted memberships. I owe you a woe, indeed. Whoa! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome one, welcome all. See Susan in the house. What is up, Susan T? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see Nikki in the building. What is up, Nikki? See Katie Joe in the house. What is up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see my brother Robert Saunders is in the house. What is up, Robert? Always good to see you as well, my friend. A beacon of awesomeness in the Fromville community is Robert. We got Doc Hayes in the house as well. Speaking of beacons, another awesome one. Doc Hayes has been here since day one with us, diving into Fromville. Always good to see you, Doc. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff, guys. So glad to see everybody here tonight. I wasn't sure if anybody, I mean, again, it's been a while since we've done a Friday stream, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but it's awesome to see everybody here tonight. I love it. Absolutely love it. Got Sean M in the house. What is up, Sean M? Got Bill D in the building. What is up, Bill D? The master theorist, Bill D himself. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Got Susan in the house as well. Welcome, welcome one, welcome all. We got All City, Big Heck in the house. What is up, All City? Good to see you as well. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. I see Golden Child down there as well. Can't forget about my pal, Golden Child. Good to see you. Good evening, my fellow From Villains. Yes, my From Villains. I like that. That's a good one. That is a good one. My From Villains. Yes, From Villians. Love it. We got Battlefield in the house. What is up, Battlefield? Good to see you as well. I see Alyssa Ann down there as well. What is up, Alyssa? Always good to see you, my friend. See our other Susie in the building, Susie Greenberg. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wow, so glad to have everybody here. So glad to have everybody. I see Eddie R down there. I see April down there. I see Pie Diddley down there. I see Keenan down there. Welcome, everybody. Awesome stuff. Awesome, awesome stuff. CT5 as well. And if I missed anybody, I'm terribly sorry. But I can't forget Strega. Got to see what up to my pal Strega as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, tonight, we are going to be diving into just predictions, basically anything. Yeah, it started with you, Star. You started the whole Dale trend. Yeah, if you guys want to thank anybody for the Dale trend, thank Star. She saddled me with Dale super early on, and again, I can't get rid of the guy now. I just can't get rid of the guy. So thank you for that, Star. Very much appreciate you, my friend. We got PM in the house as well. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What is up, Crazy? Always good to see you, my brother. Welcome, welcome, Crazy. All right, now let's dive into this a little bit, shall we? Now, episode 4 is coming, ladies and gents. Again, we are just around 25 and a half hours or so out from episode 4 hitting our screens. And of course, we'll be live tomorrow night again for our proper pregame stream. But I figured tonight will probably be a little bit of a shorter stream. It probably won't be our usual 3, 4, 5 hours like we usually do. We'll probably save those longer ones for the weekend. But I figured I would get on here and just hang out with the Fromily for a little bit, see what you guys are getting into, and what kind of predictions do you guys have for episode 4. So I will play the episode 4 trailer one more time, just in case anybody didn't see it on the intro. And then I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about episode 4? Who's going to live? Who's not going to make it out of that ambulance? Will Henry and Victor have the long-awaited reunion that we want to see? What are you guys expecting for episode 4?
Where is everyone?
Oh
my God.
The night everyone died. That was the day that I met the boy in white.
You know the boy and wife.
Run on the hill! Get back to the bus!
You looking for these?
Why can't they leave us alone?
Oof, man. Man, oh man, oh man. It's looking like it is going to be a good one. Of course, episode 3 ends off where we have our ambulance pulling up to the downed tree in the middle of the road. And of course, Tabitha instantly recognizes that and knows what that means. We are back in Fromville, y'all. We are back in Fromville. So yeah, what are you guys thinking? What are some of your predictions for episode 4? Who's going to make it? Who's not going to make it? Me, I get the feeling that, probably both of these EMTs, like I said in my video earlier, might just have red shirt written on their forehead. I don't have a whole lot of hope for these EMTs making it through this, personally. But I really hope Henry makes it. I really want to see that reunion between Victor and Henry. Been a long-awaited reunion that a lot of us have been looking forward to. And man, I hope it doesn't get snatched away from Victor right before he meets his father. That would be tragic. We got Bill D kicking us off. I still think Tabitha does not have any plot armor. She can be killed just like many others. Perhaps most can be killed off. Shocker if Tabitha gets killed. I think you're right, Bill D. In terms of like straight up plot armor, the only person I think that's definitely going to survive this season, well, the only 2 people I think that are definitely going to survive this season are Boyd and Jade. And the only reason why I think Boyd is going to survive is obviously I do have a feeling Boyd's ultimate fate on the show will be to get killed off. I get the feeling Boyd will ultimately die in some heroic way, saving everybody or getting everybody out of the town, but he'll have to sacrifice himself to do so maybe. So I'm not really expecting Boyd to ever make it out of this town. Either he sacrifices himself or potentially he has to stay behind to get everybody else out kind of thing. I'm not expecting Boyd to make it out. Jade, I am also expecting to make it out of this season. I don't think Jade is going to die in season 3. Just based off the video, the awesome happy birthday message that I received from Jade himself, thanks to the awesome Dana and Scarlett. Jade sent me a awesome birthday message on my birthday a few weeks ago, and in it he still had his grizzled hair and his grizzled beard, which tells me he still has some filming left to do if they get picked up for a season 4, because he can't cut his beard or his hair yet. And that's usually a big telltale sign when there's a long-running series going on. And I always bring up the example of Sons of Anarchy. When there's a long-running series going on, a lot of the times, they'll throw in contracts that actors can't cut their hair and can't cut their beards, just for continuity purposes. You don't want to have a character have crazy long hair one episode and then short hair next episode and have no explanation for it. So for continuity purposes, sometimes they'll write that into the contract. Game of Thrones famously did this as well. Just about everybody on the Game of Thrones cast, with the exception of Nikolai Coster-Waldau, who played Jaime. Just about everybody else had it in their contract that they could not cut their hair and beards for continuity purposes. So I wouldn't be surprised if From is doing something similar. And to see the actor who plays Jade, David Alpoy, still have his grizzled beard and his grizzled hair, right, still to this day, That tells me that he can't cut his hair because he still has some more filming to do for season 4. So those are really the only 2 characters that I personally think will not get killed off. Boyd and Jade, they're going to be safe this season. Everybody else could potentially be up on the chopping block, because we have heard from the showrunners that we are going to be losing a few of our most beloved characters, not just one, but a few. So yes, we already lost Tien Chen, but that stands to reason we're probably going to lose at least one more before the season ends. So yeah, in terms of plot armor, I don't think a lot of these characters have plot armor. I do think a good majority of them could get killed off at any time. But who knows? Hopefully Tabitha does not. I hope Tabitha sticks around. I think she's still got a lot more to do, Tabby. I think she's still got a lot more to do. Let's see what else we got. Scrolling down. What are you guys looking forward to for episode 4? I think Henry is there for a reason, and the reason is not death. And that's what I'm thinking too. I mean, like, would they really go through all of this to bring Henry into the town just to kill him off before he actually gets in the town? I don't think so. And again, if anyone who's been watching the videos, I did recently. I know me and many others also had a similar theory that maybe Tabitha's mission the whole time was to bring Henry back with her. That's one thing we're still not 100% clear on. What exactly did the boy in white? Why exactly did the boy in white send Tabitha to the real world? He didn't give her any clear instructions. He never kind of met up with her or gave her any kind of message or vision to tell her what exactly she was supposed to do in the real world. So what exactly was her true mission? Was it really just to bring Henry back? Is her mission actually complete? Was this her purpose the whole time? Does the boy in white want Henry in Fromville for some reason? Or was there something else Tabitha was supposed to do and her subsequent freakout cut her trip short after getting into the car accident? I don't know. But again, part of me wouldn't be too surprised if Henry being brought into Fromville was the purpose for her being there in the first place. So we'll see. I don't think Henry's going to get killed off either. I think Henry's going to make it. I hope he makes it, man. Again, that would be horrible if he gets killed off that quick. I'm glad that one is pretty short and doesn't add much new stuff. Yeah, the trailer this week was pretty good. It was pretty much stuff that we kind of already knew was going to happen anyway in terms of the ambulance arriving in town. They don't show us anything as opposed to who lives and who doesn't make it. So I was really happy this trailer didn't spoil a whole lot. Nothing too big anyway, so that was good. So that was good. Awesome stuff. Nikki lived long enough to get her SAG card. Yes, Stephanie. Yes, Stephanie, indeed. That is right. We do have Nikki, which, again, we have learned since the early season 3 trailers. This was kind of nothing new. It looks like Nikki is going to be having a interesting time in Fromville this evening. An interesting time in Fromville. Looks like she might potentially be this character here who is getting injured on the Colony House couch. And here we can see her kind of falling down, grabbing her side here. A lot of people think she might catch a stray bullet from Acosta or from somebody else. I think that's very well possible as well. She could accidentally get shot, maybe. We do also see another person in the back here of Colony House getting ready to load his gun, maybe getting ready to return fire or something. So maybe it's one of these instances where Acosta, the new female officer that does get sucked into Fromville with the ambulance, I mean, you know, she's armed, and I imagine if she starts seeing monsters killing people all over the place, she's going to pull out her gun and potentially shoot back. So maybe Nikki will be an unwitting participant, an unwitting recipient, rather, of a stray bullet. I guess we'll see. And if that's the case, will Nikki live? Will Nikki die? I don't know. When I hear the creators saying that we're going to be losing beloved characters, Nikki isn't exactly the kind of character that comes to mind. I don't know how beloved she is among the fandom. At least yet, we don't really know much about her yet, other than our first, our first appearance of her when she was being, kind of bitchy to Fatima, a sick Fatima at that. Yes, she did apologize later on, but it was kind of a half-assed apology, a little bit. But we'll see what is going to happen to Nikki. Will she live? Will she die? I don't know. I think Tabby's going to make a run into the forest there before they get into Fromville. Now, this has been a very interesting theory, and we've seen a lot of different iterations of a theory similar to this ever since episode 3 aired, where a lot of people seem to think maybe Tabitha will get out of the ambulance and not get back inside of it. And that's an interesting possibility. I mean, for her to just run off into the forest like that would be, I mean, I don't know if it'd be a little weird. But again, this is Fromville. Who knows what's going to happen? And a lot of people, some people are even pointing to her potentially going to where the downed tree is and going past it, which is something we have all been wondering for a very long time, ever since season 1. Everybody comes and sees this downed tree, and then everybody seemingly just turns around and then they get stuck in Fromville. But what would happen if somebody were to go beyond the downed tree? A lot of us have been wondering that for a very long time. So who knows? Maybe Tabitha will be the first to figure it out. I think they're going to live. I think a lot of them are going to live as well. I mean, in terms of most of the people that arrive in the ambulance, I have hope for a good deal of them. But again, a few of them, again, the EMTs, I'm worried about the EMTs. I don't think the EMTs are going to make it. I believe we've seen one EMT that might come up with a pretty nasty fate based on some of the earlier trailers, but we have 2 EMTs in here. And I get the feeling both of these EMTs are not long for this world. But the female officer, Acosta, I think she'll be okay. I'm hoping Tabitha will be okay as well. And Henry, hopefully Henry will be okay. Hopefully. But we'll see. We shall see. Everyone survives, says LT. Hey, maybe. Again, other than the one EMT that we kind of already saw fate of one of them, maybe the rest of them will survive. That is very much possible. It's definitely possible. Indeed. Yeah, I do think it would be crazy if they killed off Henry since he was in the ambulance. It seems kind of weird to me. It would be, again, it would be a little premature for them to just kind of kill him off this quick. But again, you never know. I mean, shows really do enjoy kind of pulling the rug out from under the audience's feet sometimes, and some shows really do like subverting expectations. And From has definitely subverted some expectations from time to time, usually in a pretty good way, though. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to go. I really hope Henry's going to survive, but yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be just like Fromville for them to kind of pull the rug out from under us just before he has a chance to meet Victor and kill him off? It would just be so tragic. I hope that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case. And again, I'm really hoping he survives. And thank you so much, Leah Bradley, for becoming a member of the channel. So glad to have you here, my friend. I hope you are doing well. And I hope everybody down in the affected area, I don't know, I know we have some people that hang out in the chat that were down in the affected areas of these nasty hurricanes. So I just wanted to take the time to say I hope everybody is staying safe, and I hope your family and loved ones and friends are all accounted for. And I mean, I've seen some of the devastation in some of the areas over the week, and it's just been gut wrenching to see what happened to some of these places and to hear some of the stories. Ravener in particular told me a very harrowing story last week about a guy and his son rescued from the top of a mountain. And it was such a harrowing rescue attempt to the point where it was just really nuts. I couldn't tell it anywhere near as well as he told it. But man, you're hearing some insane stories of some of the things that have been going on because of this, because of these hurricanes. And it sucks, man. You hate to see stuff like that happen, whether it's loss of life, loss of property, the whole nine. But I hope everybody is staying safe, staying healthy, and anyone who was in the affected area, if there's anything I could ever do to help, never hesitate to reach out. I'm thinking about trying to set up some kind of fundraiser or finding a good fundraiser that's already in place to maybe do a stream and donate towards to see if we can help some of the hurricane relief victims. But I will be in communication. Again, I'm talking to a few people right now to see what is a really good charity where the money will actually go to a really good cause that's actually helping the people affected. Because, sometimes you have a lot of scam charities out there, and you hate to see things like that. So I'm doing some research. I'm trying to find a really good charity that is really helping out down there. And hopefully some point next week, we can do a stream to donate, if anybody wants to, of course. No requirements by any means, of course. But anything we do donate, I will match, from the channel as well. And maybe we can help a few people out. Maybe we can help a few peeps. But again, anybody who's down there in the affected area, so sorry to see all the devastation. And I hope everybody is staying as safe and as relatively safe as you can anyway. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, that would really suck if they killed Tabitha before Jim and the kids see her again. Yeah, we're thinking about this whole Henry and Victor reunion. Oh, but first, wait a minute. Before I dive into that, Leah Bradley became a new member, and I didn't give her a whoa. Holy crap. I am so rude. So sorry, Leah. Here is your whoa. Whoa! Man, almost forgot the whoa. Shit. Can't do that. Can't do that. But yes, Keenan, this is a very good point. I mean, I feel like I don't know about everybody else, but I've been so kind of not focused, but I've been really thinking about this whole long time reunion between Victor and Henry that you stop to think that, wait a minute, we have another reunion that's supposed to be taking place as well, Tabitha and her family. So yeah, I mean, that would be another one. I mean, if they were to just gank off Tabitha before she had a chance to reunite with her family, that would be heartbreaking. But I think Tabitha's going to be okay. I'm a little more worried about Henry. I think Tabitha's going to be all right. What if Henry is pretending to be in a coma? Ooh, says Breezy K. Maybe. Maybe. Man, I don't know. I don't know. And one thing we have seen, though, up until this point on the show, it seems like people that arrive in Fromville that are unconscious or in some kind of altered state of mind, a lot of those characters tend to end up being affected in a very weird way in Fromville. Like, you look at a lot of the characters that are having visions, just about all of them were either impaired or unconscious upon entering Fromville, whether it was Tabitha in the car accident, whether it was Jade and how high he was, or Elgin and him being asleep when he entered. Now we're seeing Henry is entering while he is unconscious as well. Will Henry be the next kind of player in a long line of characters that were affected when they arrived in this place unconscious? Could Henry potentially start developing some visions maybe? I don't know. I don't know. We certainly have seen a trend, though, up until this point, of unconscious or altered state of mind characters certainly being affected pretty differently in this place than everybody else. So I guess we'll see. Jade's fate is to die at the very end. Everyone leaves and he dies. Oh no, LT! Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. And that's kind of how I feel. That's kind of how I feel Boyd's story is going to go. And Ravener had a pretty interesting one about Victor as well, in a similar manner. And I actually really like this. Ravener was kind of comparing what if Victor's story ends similar to Hodor's. We get that heroic moment in Game of Thrones season 6 where Hodor is holding the door, and we finally get the kind of origin for the whole character, why he says Hodor, all that stuff, and how he sacrificed himself to hold that door shut so Bran and Mira could escape. And I thought this was a very interesting theory that Ravener was talking about in terms of what if Victor has a similar kind of ending where something is happening, some metaphorical or some kind of door needs to be held open, and Victor kind of stays behind and sacrifices himself to get everybody out and ends up staying behind or dying subsequently. I thought that was a cool theory. Because again, Victor is one of those characters where he didn't even really want to leave this place. I mean, we hear him say that in season 2 to Jade when Jade, is kind of pressing him for answers. And, don't you want to know? Don't you want to go home? And we get that great line from Victor, or from Scotty McCord playing Victor, saying, "This is my home." And it was just so profound, and it really gave you a real insight into Victor's state of mind. Yes, this is a nightmarish, hellish landscape, but for someone like Victor, it's the only home he's ever known. I mean, he probably doesn't even remember much of his real home. I don't even know if he'll even remember much of Henry. So yeah, you could totally get a really good insight into Victor's kind of psyche in that scene, where you really get, okay, as nightmarish as this place is, to Victor, it's the only home he's ever known. So I wouldn't be too surprised if Victor maybe doesn't even want to leave when everybody else does, and maybe he does have some kind of profound hold the door Hodor type moment. It could be interesting. But Jade, no, Jade could not go. Jade could not go. I very much see Boyd going at the end, but I hope not Jade. I really hope Jade makes it. I hope Jade makes it. Let's see what else we got. The 11s keep popping up. I think the guy who had the numerology breakdown of characters in their names was right. If your value was 11, you were a survivor. Does anyone else remember that guy? I know Robert Saunders in our chat has been diving into it, among others, but I know Robert's name always kind of comes to mind first when I think of all of the numbers, because I know Robert was digging very deep into the 7s and the 4s and the 11 numbers, and how many numbers are in people's names and things like that. And who knows? I mean, we see 7s and the 4s pop up all over the place, which of course is 11. So what exactly does that mean? I mean, I'm still not sure what the 7s and 4s mean. Part of me, though, is starting to think that these 7s and 4s might just be a wink and a nod to Stephen King. Stephen King was famously born in 1974, and if you look at Stephen King's very famous home in the Northeast, he has a big 4 and a big 7 plastered right on his gate. So the numbers 4 and 7 are very much equated to Stephen King in the horror genre. So part of me is starting to think all of these 4s and 7s that we're seeing all over the place might just simply be a wink and a nod to Stephen King. And not only that, Stephen King absolutely loves this show. He's a huge fan of From. He's always promoting the show. And the director, Jack Bender, is actually very good friends with Stephen King as well. So I think it would make really good sense that they would put some kind of homages or some, winks and nods into the show that are directly meant to be a homage to Stephen King. So I think that's where a lot of these 4s and 7s are for. Just because we haven't really seen the 4s and 7s play any significant part in the actual plot yet. As of right now, anyway, they only seem to be kind of background dressing, and they don't really seem to be a part of the actual story. So part of me is thinking these 4s and 7s are just a wink and a nod to Stephen King. But if they start becoming a much more prevalent part of the actual plot, then I think it's time to dive into these 4s and 7s and a little bit more and see if there's a deeper meaning there. But as of right now, they seem to only be kind of background dressing, little Easter eggs. Who knows? Maybe they'll mean more. Maybe they will mean more than just a nod to Stephen King. Maybe there's a dual meaning to them. That's very possible as well. From seems to be very adept at having dual meanings to a lot of their title episodes and a lot of the themes that they weave in and out of the show. So it could mean more. It could mean more. I hope they get to meet long enough so Victor can tell Henry that he sucks. Maybe. Again, I really want to see the reunion. I don't know why. Who knows how it's going to go? And again, who knows if Victor's even going to remember Henry with his kind of spotty memory like that. But I'm hoping it happens. I am hoping it happens. And we got Purple Alizé with a super sticker. Thank you so much, Purple Alizé, for the $5. That is incredibly generous of you. Wow, thank you so much. I didn't see a question attached. So if you do have a particular question or a particular topic you want to talk about, Perp, drop it into the chat and we will definitely discuss. But thank you so much for the 5. That's incredibly generous of you. Wow, thank you. Here is your woe. Awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. Yes, Jade stays or I quit. No, Susie. No, don't do that. Do not put that mojo out into the world. I also don't think Boyd will make it out. I just don't think he will. Again, I feel like his story is ultimately heading for some kind of massive sacrifice that will directly kind of save everybody else. Because, I mean, that's who Boyd is at the end of the day, isn't he? I mean, he's the hero. He's the sheriff. He's one of the main protagonists. And his mission for so long has been to keep this town safe and to hopefully find a way out for everybody. You know, his famous lines, we do this together, we stick together, you know, we can get through this, where this place will not break us. I do get the feeling that Boyd will be vital to getting everybody out of this place, but I get the feeling he's not going to escape with everyone else. I think he's heading for a heroic sacrifice of some kind. If Jade dies, we will riot in the streets, says Crazy Mad. Yes, Crazy. Now that is more of my line of thinking. If Jade dies, we riot. We shall riot. Jade is going to go crazy and become a danger to everyone. Now that could be a very interesting fate for Jade as well. I mean, we seemingly seem to think, at least, that Christopher may have gone down a similar fate, that he may have gone a little bit mad because of this symbol. And if that's true, could Jade potentially be going down a similar path, maybe? I mean, I suppose that's very, very much possible. There's still so much we don't know about this symbol and about what it's doing to Jade's mind and these visions, but it definitely seems like Jade is being pushed further and further to insanity. Now, I get the feeling Jade will get right to the brink of insanity, and he'll solve this symbol just in the nick of time before he kind of falls off the edge. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he will actually fall off that edge and like you said, become evil and become a danger to people. That's very possible as well. Very possible. Again, it seems like Christopher might have gone down a similar path. So no, I could see it going either way. I could definitely see it going either way, that he kind of solves this thing right in the 23rd hour, right before he falls off. Or, like you mentioned, maybe he does fall off and he kind of goes a little bit mad. I could definitely see that being the case. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. If Henry was never mentioned by Victor, then maybe there's a reason. Yeah, I mean, there's so much. I mean, we have no idea what's going on there. There's been a lot of fan theories around it as to what kind of person Henry was. I mean, so far on the show, I'm not seeing any evidence of him being an abusive father or anything like that, but that very well could be the case. There's still just so much we don't know about this character. But yes, every time Victor kind of talks about or mentions his family, he never brings up his father, Henry. But then again, anytime anyone mentioned anything to Victor about his family, the only thing he always says is, I don't want to talk about that. Anytime, even early in season 1, when Ethan asks him, how did you get stuck here? All he says is, I don't want to talk about that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of, what does he even remember from his father, Henry? Did they have a good relationship? Did they have a bad relationship? Will we find out a little bit more about that? I don't know. I don't know. Henry will become Batman and beat up Boyd. Henry's going to become Batman. Okay. Now, there's an interesting theory. That's certainly not one I had on my Rolodex. Didn't have that one on my bingo card, but I like it nonetheless. Let's see what else we got. We didn't see the original tree. We didn't get Tabby in the real world long. I think we won't see reunions. The writers might love torturing us with these wants. Well, that's the thing. I don't think there is a quote-unquote original tree. If we go back and look at all of the flashbacks, everybody sees a completely different tree when they arrive in Fromville. Nobody sees the same tree. When we see the Matthews family originally get stuck here, the tree they see is totally different from the tree that Boyd and his family see, which is totally different from this tree that we're seeing here. So I don't think there is one original tree. I think everybody sees a different tree upon arriving in Fromville. I don't think there is just one set original. But I don't know. I guess we'll learn a little bit more about that. There seems to be multiple trees anyway, and multiple different entrances to this place. And I think that kind of lines up a little bit more with what Henry was saying as well, in terms of how Miranda was describing this place as being something that you can get pulled into from anywhere, yet you can never find it physically. So I'm not too sure there is a quote unquote original tree. I think everybody sees a completely different tree upon entering Fromville. But I guess we'll find out. We shall find out more. Yeah, self-sacrifice. Yes, I could totally see that happening for Boyd, and I could totally see that happening with even Victor as well. Some kind of self-sacrifice to save everybody else. I could easily see both of their fates being, kind of similar to that, maybe. Man, I love a surprise, but if I stay up with the sun, I fool around and stay up more into the next day. At some point, you got to sleep. Yeah, you got to get some sleep, and I know that as well as anybody. It's especially when you're doing the YouTube thing when you're covering an active show, very much you become sleep deprived, and you got to find a way. You got to find a healthy balance, pretty much, where you're spending a good amount of time online and hanging out and talking about the things you love, like From and stuff. But you also have to make sure you take time to take care of yourself as well. So you got to find that kind of that good balance in between, where you're getting a good amount of sleep, but you're also spending enough time with the awesome Fromily as well. So yeah, it can be interesting trying to find that medium there. Trying to find that balance can be tough at first. Took me a while. I mean, hell, I'm still finding my footing. There's still so much about this whole streaming and YouTubing thing that I'm learning every single day. I'm still very much a beginner myself. But yeah, you start to get into the swing of things. You start to develop, a schedule that works for you. We got Hater Headquarters. What is up, Hater Headquarters? Love that freaking name. The LSD was likely liquid, and it's entirely possible that we will learn that Victor was at one point dosed with it before entering Fromville, possibly even the night they entered the town. Ooh, interesting. Hater Headquarters. Interesting. Yeah, I thought it was very weird how they dropped that subtle LSD line for Miranda, and they kind of tied it into the whole. It was right when Miranda took that last hit of LSD that's kind of what triggered some of her visions, so to speak. And then we look at Jade. Jade, when he entered Fromville in season 1, you could just see the look on his face. He wasn't just high. He was on some kind of tryptamine. He was definitely on some kind of hallucinogenic. You can just tell by the way he was acting. Anybody who's familiar with hallucinogenics or tryptamines, you know the signs. And that's exactly the signs that Jade was portraying when he first arrived here in Fromville. He wasn't just high. He wasn't drunk or anything like that. He was tripping balls when he first arrived in this place. So yeah, maybe there's something to that. Maybe there's something to the altered state of consciousness that plays a part in giving people some of these visions upon entering, maybe. That's very possible. Very, very possible. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. I wish he was there. I remember when I saw yesterday the boy upon the stair who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. I wish he hadn't gone away. When I came home last night at 3 a.m., man, the man was waiting for me. Interesting. Interesting. The original bottle tree in the real world before Tabitha freaked out. Oh, that one. Yes. Yes. I think we were so really wanting to see that. Abso-freaking-lutely. If that's the tree that you were referring to, Bill, my mistake. I'm so sorry if I misunderstood that. My mistake, my friend. No, but if that's what you're talking about, I 100% agree with you. Yes, I mean, we really wanted to see this original bottle tree, right? It's like you hear Henry drop this, really weird line like, "Oh, this isn't the original tree. The original's in a park 3 towns over." It's like, what? You just happen to mention this now? What are you doing, Henry? What are you doing, dude? So yeah, I mean, a lot of us wanted to see this original tree, this OG bottle tree, as it's been referred to within the fandom, and what exactly is this OG tree that's out in that weird kind of park? Is it a faraway tree? Because that's the one thing Tabitha mentions is this one doesn't have an opening. She's famously looking for the opening for the bottle tree at the one at Henry's house, and of course, it doesn't have it. Too many stills. This is what happens when you load up too many stills, guys. You become lost in the sass. Here we go. Yes, we got Henry and Tabitha talking about the bottle tree. And of course, Henry drops that very interesting line that the original one is a few towns over. So yeah, what exactly is up with this original bottle tree? A lot of us really wanted to see it, and I get the feeling we will see it at some point. Maybe not for a little while, maybe not until the end of the series even. But I feel like they're setting that original tree up in the real world for a reason. There's no way we don't return to that tree at some point, even if it's not until seasons down the road. And at the very end, when everybody finally makes it all out and Tabitha kind of returns to that tree just for the hell of it to see what's there after everybody escapes kind of thing. It could be way down the road, but I would be so surprised if we don't return to that original tree at some point. I mean, that's an answer that they have to pay off at some point. I imagine they laid that groundwork for a reason. I'd be very surprised if we don't see this original tree at some point way down the road. But yeah, what exactly was this original tree going to do? I mean, was it a bottle tree that was in this park? Was that an entrance into Fromville? Is that an actual doorway into Fromville potentially? A lot of questions we've been having about this original tree and what exactly what exactly that encompasses, really. But again, I do think we will eventually find out. Even if it's not until way later, I think we will eventually see that original tree. Definitely. We got Dana Marie for $5. Well, thank you so much, Dana Marie. This was absolutely not necessary. You never have to thank me either. I want to say thank you for letting us do movie night in the Discord. It was fun, and we appreciated it, and you. And FYI, Kiwi is a rock star. She makes it look easy. Yes, I could not agree more with that statement. Kiwi is an absolute rock star. You guys are all rock stars. But no, are you kidding me? Absolutely. You never have to thank me. Anybody who ever wants to do a watch party in the Discord, everybody has access to set up their own watch party at any point they want. You don't have to get my permission. You don't have to ask me. I don't have to be there. Anybody who ever wants to do a watch party in the Discord, you guys are more than welcome to always do that. You guys have free reign to start any kind of watch party you want in there. Preferably, not when we're not streaming, but other than that, absolutely anybody who ever wants to start a watch party, you guys are more than welcome to at any point. But thank you so much, Dana Marie. I very much appreciate that, my friend. And I owe you a whoa. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And we got Crazy Mad for $9.99. Thank you so much, Crazy Mad, for the $9.99, my pal. I know for a fact Jeremy only sleeps 45 minutes a night and only wakes up for cheese. Make sure all of you hit that like button for Jeremy. Damn it, Crazy. You're bringing back some fun memories now, my friend. Yes, the cheese is the magic word that just makes it rustles me right awake. Yeah. Shit, I forgot about that. Thank you so much, Crazy Mad. Very much appreciate you, my friend. And thank you so much for the $9.99. And yes, I try to at least get 45 minutes. Gotta get 45 minutes in. And then you hear cheese and you just wake up. What can I do? I'm Italian. I hear cheese and I wake up. Shit, sue me. Sue me! But thank you so much, Crazy, for the $9.99. And I owe you a whoa. Oh man, cheese. Yeah, cheese. Yeah, that's the word. That's the word that'll jostle me awake when I'm in a deep sleep. I hear the word cheese and I just pop up for some reason. Crazy Bad has done that to me like 4 fucking times too. It wasn't just once. That has happened multiple times. I believe Scarlett and Dana might have been there for one of them too. Where I fall asleep in the back room when we're talking From and House of the Dragon and everything else. Next thing I know, I hear the word cheese and I just wake up. I don't know why. It's super fucking weird, right? I mean, hell, I'm a weird dude. What can you expect? You gotta embrace your weirdness every once in a while. There's nothing wrong with being a little bit weird, even if cheese wakes you up. I can let it happen. Who cares? Fuck it. I don't care. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. But thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, Susie's more of a bacon riser. There you go. You never know. Yeah, to each is your own. To each their own. Oh, shit. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff indeed. Oh, man. All right, let me get back to it. Let's see what else you guys are saying. I hope there's some kind of flashback to like Victor playing there as a kid or something. Now that would be very interesting. Yes, if that was like a tree that Miranda kind of took the kids to often to, yeah, I mean, and they have maybe some kind of weird memory of it. That could be really cool. I like that idea, Susie. I actually really like that idea. It's a good one. Victor might be a drug baby, handicapped mentally when born. Ooh, okay. Henry says nod, but I find it difficult to believe they did not drug up when Miranda was pregnant. Ooh, interesting, Bill. Okay, interesting. I mean, could that potentially be what tapped Victor into kind of his weird kind of connection he has with Fromville, maybe, and the drawings and everything that we're seeing from him? Okay, I like that. I mean, I suppose it's possible. I mean, I feel like they threw that line in there for a reason to let us know that Henry and Miranda were hippies and how they were kind of dropping acid and shit. I feel like that was there for a very specific reason. And again, you see some of these other characters who have that altered state of mind, that altered state of consciousness upon entering here, having very weird reactions to this place, whether it's visions or dreams or hearing voices. It seems to be a theme there, a pattern emerging. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Let's see what else we got. Have intercourse with a tree. I certainly don't want to do that. I mean, that could be very painful. That could be very painful. I would not suggest that myself. I would not suggest that. Oh, shit. Oh man, is the original tree the one in Fromville? Now that would be interesting, wouldn't it be, Miss MVP? Like if it was like an exact replica of the bottle tree that took Tabitha to the lighthouse. If the one in our real world, the one that Henry and Tabitha were potentially traveling to, the original bottle tree. Yes, imagine if it was like an exact replica of the bottle tree in Fromville that takes you directly to the lighthouse. Could that one tree be some kind of conduit some kind of doorway between Fromville and the real world. Could that potentially be some kind of entrance into Fromville? Maybe it could be. I like that. It very well could be. I mean, if that's why I really hope we see it at some point. And when we do see it, I mean, if we recognize it instantly to be some kind of exact replica of the one we've already seen or something, that would be really cool. That would be really cool. Yes, Jade's eyes do not lie. I think he'll bring himself back from the brink. He's too smart, and Kenny does not want a buddy or pal from Christy. She was getting on his nerves. Oof, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, again, in terms of the Jade thing, I do think Jade will ultimately solve this thing. I do get the feeling he's seeing past version of himself, and I've mentioned this multiple times in the past, and I know other people have had similar theories, but I very much believe that Jade is seeing past versions of people who have seen this symbol, and not just Christopher. We know Christopher has seen this symbol, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Civil War soldier Jade saw and this latest vision that Jade saw in episode 3 of the person drinking out of the human skull. I wouldn't be surprised if all of these people that Jade is seeing were all previous versions of him, previous versions of people that were stuck here in Fromville that all saw this symbol. And maybe for some reason, each and every one of them failed to solve what it means. Just like with Miranda and Tabitha kind of mirroring their storylines, with Tabitha or with Henry telling Tabitha that she is potentially the next chosen one. And how Miranda was seeing all of the chosen ones that came before her, and how none of them managed to solve the mystery of what was happening to these Ankui children. None of them managed to ever save the kids. So I very much think that could be a repetitive theme that we're seeing throughout the show, where we're seeing characters now very much mirror character storylines from the 1978 storyline and maybe even beyond it. And I know a lot of people seem to think there is some kind of reoccurrence of events that is happening from time to time, that this place is kind of resetting, some kind of cycle that is repeating over and over again. That's why we tend to see these same versions of these characters pop up all these years later. And again, there's a lot of interesting evidence to back a theory like that up in terms of everything we're seeing. So many of these characters' storylines directly mimic previous members as well. Whether it's Ethan and Victor, Jade and Christopher, Tabitha and Miranda, a lot of similarities between a lot of these characters. And I get the feeling we'll probably start to see a lot more of them as well. Even more of these connections will probably start to be unveiled as the show continues to go on. Randall has been to the same place Martin was. The monsters might leave him be for the time being. Yes, I'm very looking forward to this whole Randall scene that is going to be going on here. And yes, here we have seen Randall has very much been in the same place as Martin, and almost locked up in the exact same spot as Martin, even for all we know. And now he is back, he is out, he is in the real world, but it seems like, based on episode 3, and this is something we predicted super early on, that these cicada visions were not going to be fully gone. We had a feeling, I know a lot of us had a feeling, that there was going to be some kind of after effect, some kind of side effect to whatever cicada coma that they were in. We just had a feeling it wasn't going to be fully over. And it looks like we were right, because now Randall is still seeing visions of these cicadas flying towards him. Now, are these cicadas just in Randall's head, or are they actually there? It remains to be seen. I get the feeling they are mostly in his head, and I get the feeling that's what's happening with a lot of these visions. And I feel like episode 3 really established that, not just with the Randall scene, but with the Jade scene that we saw earlier in the episode, when Jade is having his vision of being grabbed by the person that is spiked through the eye and stuck to the tree. We see Dale, of all people, come around the corner, and all Dale can see is Jade struggling with nobody, struggling with an invisible person. Like, Jade could not actually see the vision, obviously. I mean, Dale could not see the vision, obviously, only Jade could. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is a theme that is going to be continuing, where only the people that these visions are happening to, they're the only ones that can see them. And I think we saw more evidence of that at the end of season 2 as well. When Randall got overtaken by the cicadas, he was alone, so we couldn't really tell if anybody else saw that. But we did see what happened with Julie and Mari, Both times Julie and Mario were getting overtaken by these cicadas. Nobody else in the room could actually see the cicadas. Only Mario and Julie could. So it seems like these visions, whatever is happening to these people, it's only being seen or heard by the people it's happening to. And I get the feeling that's probably an explanation for the phone call that Jim is hearing as well. That phone rang and it was so freaking loud, and Julie and Ethan had literally just left the room like 2 seconds earlier. You know, you would think that they would have heard that phone ringing. It was incredibly loud, yet they didn't return to the kitchen. I get the feeling that is because Jim is the only one that can actually hear that phone ring. I don't think everybody else can hear it. Very similar to how Randall is the only one seeing the cicadas. Very similar to how Jade is the only one seeing his visions. I think these things are, kind of located and only located to the people that are actually experiencing them, where everybody else around them kind of can't really see it and they just look like a crazy person. But we'll see. We shall see. I get the feeling Randall is going to have some more cicada-like problems. We do see that Randall is going to be put in some kind of interesting predicament in this episode, where we've seen earlier in the trailers the monsters seemingly kind of standing over Randall, staring at him. Again, I wouldn't be too surprised if he has some kind of weird cicada vision at the worst possible time, right as he is about to get surrounded by these monsters, and that's why he ends up getting surrounded. Maybe that's why he's on the ground in that scene to begin with. Another one of these cicada things comes around and he's writhing on the ground thinking he's swatting away cicadas, and next thing you know, boom, he's surrounded by monsters. But will he make it out? I think he will make it out. I agree with this. Randall definitely makes it. I think he's going to make it. I think he is going to make it. And again, you got to be careful for some episode synopsis. Sometimes they give away more than you intended. But in terms of Randall, I think he's going to be okay. I mean, you can't kill Randall off this soon. I feel like Randall still has more to do. A lot of people are wondering if Randall's going to have some kind of redemption arc, which is still, I suppose, possible. I mean, we see small little glimpses, at least, where Randall is capable of doing the right thing. Yes, his selfish side and his fearful side tends to win out more often than not, but we have seen he is at least capable. Rarely, he is at least capable of doing the right thing. We see him save Julie, Ethan, and Sarah in episode 1, bringing them onto the bus. But even when we go back to the very first scene that we ever saw Randall in, or one of the very first scenes we ever saw Randall in, at the beginning of season 2, when the Matthews family home collapsed on Tabitha and Jim is looking for volunteers to help dig it out, Randall was the first one to raise his hand and offer to help, put his life on the line to help this stranger dig out his wife. So Randall has shown that he does have the capacity to be good, and he does have the capacity to help others. But again, sometimes his selfish side just seems to win over. Or not even his selfish side, more of his fearful side. I think a lot of Randall's rash actions come from a place of fear, not selfishness. But it could be a little bit of both. Let's see what else we got. Scrolling down. Yeah, Cheese did it, right? Yeah, Scarlett knows. Cheese did it. The cheese is real. What do you think Fatima is really? What do you think Fatima is really eating when filming the rotten scenes? We were wondering this exact question too. Because yes, whenever you see scenes like this where you see a character just outright eating something nasty, obviously they're not really eating rotten food. They're eating something that looks a lot like rotten food. And The Walking Dead would do something like this a lot because, obviously The Walking Dead had all of the zombies that were constantly biting freaking people's flesh. So they needed to have some kind of way to convey that wasn't just all CGI. Now, obviously, they can't really have people running around biting chunks out of people, obviously. So they needed to come up with some kind of method where they could find something that looked like people were biting into rotten flesh, yet it was some kind of edible food. And on The Walking Dead, they would often use chicken or beef. If you were an actor, you got to choose which one do you want. Do you want the chicken or do you want the beef? And it was this just nasty mixture of chicken to make it look like it was like actual rotted flesh. So yeah, shows will very much come up with some weird, nasty kind of way to make something look incredibly rotten, but really it's just, bread that has been dyed in color. And I wouldn't be too surprised if that's what she's eating right here. Maybe it's some kind of bread that they have dyed to make look like it's really, really raw, and throw some, dark food coloring into some little piece of bread, make it appear like it's a rotten vegetable. I get the feeling they're probably doing something similar to that. But yeah, I have wondered, what exactly are they using? But I think bread or something along the lines that they can throw some food coloring into and make it look really nasty. Probably something like that, I would imagine. Because yeah, she's not really eating, rotten vegetables, obviously. But no, good question. Very good question. It's always interesting to see how they kind of create these shots, isn't it? Especially on a show like this that is kind of very heavily reliant on practical effects over digital. You don't see a whole lot of CGI in From. And that's what I really love about this show. The majority, probably 80% of the visual effects are practical effects, are real, actual practical effects that they build themselves in studio. And I love that about the show. I love that they're not relying too heavily on CGI. And it really makes these scenes in particular just come to life way more, as opposed to seeing her in some kind of weird CGI thing that you can always kind of tell is CGI. I really like the practical effects that they're using here, for sure. For sure. Awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. I think Victor is autistic with PTSD now. I think Victor is definitely very traumatized. He's definitely got some kind of issues going on for sure. I mean, who wouldn't though? I mean, the kids, but everything the kid's been through. The fact that he's even still alive is a miracle and a testament to his survivability. And I know some people seem to think that Victor's maybe a little bit shady, that maybe there's a reason has survived on his own for so long. Maybe there's a little bit more to Victor that hasn't been revealed yet, which is very well possible as well. But no, I think Victor is just traumatized, really. I don't know if he's actually on the actual spectrum. I suppose it's possible, but I think he's more of just, I definitely think he has PTSD. That I 100% agree with. He is definitely dealing with some type of post-traumatic stress, most likely due to all of the horrific things he has seen in his time being here in Fromville, things that he remembers and things that he probably has yet to even remember, things that are maybe still buried in his subconscious. We've seen that memories continue to come back to Victor as these seasons progress. And I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see something similar happen like that in episode 4, where he is getting ready to tell Sarah this story. Whatever story he's getting ready to tell her remains to be seen. But part of me wouldn't be too surprised if when Victor is telling Sarah this story, some kind of memory gets, jogged loose, or he remembers something. Because if we do remember back to some of these synopses, it did state something a little similar, how Victor is going to try and unearth something from his past. And it's something that apparently he's going to be struggling to come to terms with even. So I get the feeling whatever story he's getting ready to tell Sarah, I do get the feeling it is going to unlock some kind of memory that he has personally, or some kind of memory pertaining to the 1978 massacre. Because if we look back in the episode 4 trailer, we have a specific glimpse of a specific flashback glimpse of the 1978 massacre. It looks like we are going to see that return in this episode. Here we see Victor in the episode 4 trailer, and we see young Victor waving to the boy in white. So that definitely tells me that we are certainly going to have some kind of flashback to this 1978 massacre in this episode. This was from the trailer for episode 4, and Victor says in the trailer he's recounting the story to Sarah the first time that he met the boy in white, and maybe that's the story he's telling her. Maybe he's telling her the story of the 1978 massacre, and maybe in turn that will shake loose some other kind of memory. But I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to be going on here. There's still so much about this massacre that we just still don't know. The circumstances around it, how exactly it happened, who caused it, what hand did Christopher play in the massacre. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to these Victor and Sarah scenes, probably more than anything else. Like, I really want to see what's going to happen with the ambulance, obviously. Like, I can't wait to see what's going to happen with Tabitha, what's going to happen with Henry, what's going to happen with the rest of these characters, who's going to make it, who's not going to make it out of this ambulance scenario. But I'm really looking forward to these Victor scenes, probably a little bit more. Like, I really get the feeling we're going to get something good in this episode between Victor and Sarah, some kind of past memory that is going to give us some kind of, if not big answer, at least give us some kind of hint starting our way down the path to getting a big answer. But it seems like something's coming. I get the feeling something is coming in this episode pertaining to Victor and this massacre. Again, I don't think they would throw this in the episode 4 trailer if they weren't going to be going down this route. So it looks like we're going to learn something. Looks like we are going to learn something, guys. Let's see what else we got. I wonder if Tabitha is going to survive when they arrive in town. Yes, it's a big question. Will Tabitha survive? Will Henry survive? Will these EMTs turn out to be nothing but red shirts? I don't know. I don't know. I think Fromville is made up of what's in people's minds. And I think that's a possibility as well, Elizabeth. And we've kind of played with, similar kind of ideas in terms of not just people's minds, but people's nightmares, people's fears literally being pulled out of them and manifested in this place. And I think we've already seen some small examples of this. And I always kind of call it back to the season 2 scenes where Kenny gets burnt by the cicada in his dream and wakes up with the burn still on his arm. Effectively, his dream is carrying into the real world, very Nightmare on Elm Street-esque. But we also have a scene like that with Elgin as well in season 2 when Elgin gets pushed under the water by the weird kimono, ghastly entity-looking creature. And then apparently when Elgin wakes up, he's spitting out tons of water. So there has been a clear kind of precedent where people's dreams, people's nightmares can affect them in the real world. Here I am spouting away and my mic's on mute. But no, I agree with you, Elizabeth. I think you're 100% right. I think there definitely could be something to this whole things being pulled out of people's memories or things being pulled out of people's nightmares kind of idea. And even going back to the actual monsters themselves, when we think of what the monsters are actually called, like what the show has officially designated the monsters as, what they're actually called is nightmare creatures. That is their official designation, the quote-unquote nightmare creatures. So I wouldn't be surprised if these things were pulled directly out of someone's nightmare and manifested in Fromville. That is a potential origin for the monsters. I know a lot of us want them to be human and have some kind of thing that happened to them, and I really hope if it's not the nightmare angle, it's going to be something similar to that, because they have been kind of hinting on the show that these things could have been human at one point and something horrific could have happened to them that turned them into this, some kind of curse or some kind of weird experiment, some kind of evil that happened to these humans that turned them into this. I definitely think that's possible as well. But man, I love the whole nightmare angle that the show is playing with, not just the nightmares, but dreams in general. You look at a lot of this show and they are just hitting us over the head time and time again with references to nightmares and dreams, whether it's the songs that come through the jukeboxes, whether it's the songs that they play in the actual trailers for the show. There is so many references to dreams and nightmares scattered throughout this show that I definitely think it's going to play some kind of part. If not the monsters themselves, then I have a feeling there are definitely some other things that might have been pulled directly out of people's nightmares. But who knows? I guess we shall see. I guess we shall learn a little bit more about these things. And I hope we find out at some point. I do vaguely remember reading something that John Griffin said that at some point we will actually learn the origins of the monsters. That's not something they're going to leave ambiguous. Apparently, they do plan on explaining exactly how these monsters were created at some point. So I can't wait. I cannot wait to see where these things really come from. What if Miranda made Victor think he has Munchausen syndrome? Ooh, okay, Xavier. Okay. Man, and a lot of people are also talking about Victor having some kind of Stockholm syndrome as well, and that's maybe why he kind of doesn't want to leave this place. I mean, and Stockholm syndrome is a very real thing. I mean, we've seen this happen with so many victims in real world where they get captured. They get held hostage somewhere, and after a while, it's like the hostager doesn't even have to keep them chained up anymore. They're afraid to even attempt to leave. It's that Stockholm syndrome that sets in. So no, that's interesting, Xavier. I mean, I never really. I mean, I think it's possible. Yeah. But for Miranda to be the cause of it, though, that would be super nefarious, wouldn't it? Like if she like knowingly did that. Oh man, I like your thinking, my friend. I like your thinking. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. The original would be in Fromville if the one is in the real world was based on a vision she got before there. Exactly, and that's why part of me is thinking that maybe it's that main bottle one. The bottle tree that takes Tabitha to the lighthouse, the one that Victor shows her, the one that Miranda went through as well. What if that is the replica? Oof, excuse me, had to blow my nose. But no, I think you could be onto something there, Hater. And I think, again, if she is having visions of this place, then yeah, it stands to reason she's going to draw a tree that she actually had a vision of. So yeah, what if it was the original bottle tree? What if she created a replica of that original bottle tree in that town, in that park that's a few towns over? And who knows, what if that is again some kind of doorway into Fromville? I guess again, I hopefully we'll find out at some point. I'd be so disappointed if by the end of this series we don't return to that tree at some point in time, in some capacity. I get the feeling we will eventually see that original tree. It's just too specific of a thing to kind of set up and not pay off, really. So I think we'll see it. I think we shall see it. What is up, SL Rhodes? Good to see you, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope From brings Kenny a new girl. Yes, Delilah. Although a lot of people in the chat really want Kenny to remain a virgin. People love the freaking torturing Kenny for being a virgin. If he even is a virgin, I doubt he even is, honestly. But it is a funny meme. It has become a pretty funny joke among the fandom, if nothing else. But no, I mean, I suppose that's possible. I mean, we do technically have Acosta, this new female officer that is arriving in Fromville. And I must say, she is absolutely drop dead gorgeous, too. Absolutely beautiful actress. Samantha Brown is playing Acosta. So who knows? Could this potentially be a future love interest for Kenny? I mean, they are the two deputies in town. I imagine once Acosta gets acclimated to this place, I wouldn't be too surprised if she becomes one of Boyd's deputies, similar to how Kenny is. So no, hey, you might be onto something, Delilah. Could we potentially see a future love interest for Kenny here with this Acosta character? Maybe. Maybe Kenny's luck is finally going to turn around. Maybe it's finally gonna turn around. And yeah, right, Acosta's a hottie, isn't she, Strega? Absolutely. She's absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, beautiful actress, for sure. Indeed. Indeed. I'd let her Acosta me. Okay, that was good. That was good, Shorty. I have to admit, that was a good one. Shit. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. All right. Shit, let me get my bearings back here after that woozy there. Shit. Oh man, maybe if they save the children, all the timeline/cycles resolve and reset. Now that's an interesting idea, Jeremy. I like that actually. Yeah, I mean, we keep seeing these hints at least that there is some kind of weird cycle being repeated. I mean, if Miranda was seeing multiple different chosen ones, that stands to reason that this place has been choosing multiple different chosen ones, and they've all been failing. They've all failed to save the children. So what if successfully saving the children kind of resets everything and stops the cycle? I very much think that's possible, man. Absolutely. I like that. Yeah, I think that's super possible. If the whole cycle thing is actually legit, then yeah, it stands to reason that, once you actually complete it, the cycle is going to stop and it resolves itself. So no, I like that. I think that's a good one. I think Victor may not want to leave that place because he doesn't know anywhere else. It's a trauma response, especially for those growing up in chaos. Normalcy can be triggering and terrifying. It really can be, right? Shadow Skulk, and not only that, it really speaks. I know we talked a little bit about this last week, but it really speaks to kind of just how adaptable the human psyche really is. Like, yes, we're kind of, we are creatures of habit. Don't get me wrong. But we're also extremely adaptable. Like humans can adapt to the most strenuous of circumstances if you're under those circumstances for enough time. you're going to adapt to them eventually. So yeah, it could just be simply that this is just Victor's home. I mean, maybe he doesn't remember much from the real world. Maybe he doesn't feel like he has anything to return to. And like you said, maybe his trauma has just, kind of seeped into his brain where this is his home now. And like you said, growing up in some kind of chaos at some point in time, the chaos is just going to become normal everyday life. So no, I think that's possible. Again, I definitely think he's got a serious case of Stockholm syndrome going on. And he kind of just looks at this place like it's his home, for better or for worse. This is the only home he's ever known, kind of thing, maybe. So yeah, you could be onto something. Because the nervous system isn't familiar with calmness. Very good point. Very good point. The nervous system, by its very nature, is absolutely chaotic. So you do make a good point. We got Dieter. What is up, Dieter? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Almost time for the next episode. Good morning, everyone. Yes, it is. It is almost time. We are actually approaching just 24 and a half hours away, ladies and gents. 24 and a half hours, and we will be watching episode 4 of From. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And yeah, Victor's never had a job. What would he do in the real world? Exactly. Like, imagine, again, humans are pretty adaptable, but someone like Victor would have a very tough time adapting to the real world. Like you said, he's never, he hasn't been there since he was, 10 years old, maybe even younger. What would he do? How would he adapt? How would he get a job? How would he be kind of, how is he going to be expected to hold down a job and pay rent and live like an adult when he's been living like a 10-year-old child for the last 40 years, essentially? So yeah, I mean, again, maybe all of these things factor into why he just doesn't want to leave as much as everybody else. This is just the only place he's ever known, really. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. When we hear Meek Mill's Dreams and Nightmares on the jukebox, we will know. Yes. That'll give us a good indication, won't it, Xavier? That'll give us a good indication. Victor can be the next Bob Ross in the real world. Maybe Victor can come through and become the next Bob Ross.
Beat that little devil off.
Maybe that is his future. Maybe. I hope Tabitha runs past the tree. I really would love to see that. Absolutely. I mean, that's something a lot of us have been wondering, like, what would happen? What would happen if someone did go past the tree? I don't know, man. I don't know. I really want to see that scene. Everyone sees this tree and they kind of instantly just turn around and boom, they go right to the town of Fromville. What exactly would happen, though, if someone did attempt to go past that tree? Would they just end up in Fromville too? Probably, but I still want to see, just in case something else is up there. I get the feeling it probably all leads to the town, because it does seem like they're kind of, once they're stuck in the town, once they see the tree, they're already stuck, apparently. So at that point, it really just seems to be like a continuous loop. So I get the feeling if someone does cross over the tree and go forward down the road, they'll probably just end up in town too. But who knows? Maybe something else is out there. Who freaking knows? Be fun to see, at least. Would be fun to see. Yeah, Kenny's not a virgin. He's an Icelandic gigolo. Maybe, BK. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. All right, let's see what else we got. I don't think Kenny is looking for a love interest right now. He's on Demon Time. Yeah, and that's a good point, Leah. I mean, you make a good point. I don't think Kenny's out there looking for his next Tinder match. That's for sure. This is, I mean, as of episode 2, he was very much kind of focused on revenge at first. Like, he really wanted revenge for the death of his mother. So much to the point where it drives him right to the mouth of the cave and getting ready to go inside and essentially go on a suicide mission. Really, that would have been a suicide mission, let's be honest. If Boyd and Kenny enter that cave, there's a good chance that both or one or both of them don't make it out, really. I mean, that's a suicide mission in and of itself. So yeah, he kind of was going for the straight revenge kick, and Boyd kind of talks him off the ledge, thankfully. So yeah, it's going to be see where's Kenny going to focus his efforts now. Right now, like you said, he's kind of just focused on helping the town. He's focused on gathering up this food. It's going to be interesting to see the night that they are going to spend in Cannibal Village. That is another thing I'm very much looking forward to in episode 4 as well, because if we remember, of course, I know we remember, at the end of episode 3, we had a very ominous sign of what could potentially be happening in Cannibal Village. Now, a lot of us have been wondering what exactly these freaking totems are. What is up with these weird-ass totem things? What do they mean? What do they do? Are they some other form of talisman, etc.? A lot of us want to know what's going on with the dang totems. And of course, we foolishly see Jade mess with one of the totems. It actually knocks one of them down. So if these totems were some other form of talisman keeping some kind of evil out, did Jade potentially just screw the whole thing up by rendering it null and void by knocking it down? Could they be visited by something nefarious overnight now that they don't have that protection up? I don't know.
This is a really bad idea.
There's nothing else strong enough to pry that trap open.
You really want to start pulling apart the ancient tower of holy scary shit?
I'm sure whoever built it won't mind.
Oh, Jesus. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I get the feeling that is not going to be a good sign. Jade, I love you, Jade. You are my favorite character, but you should not have touched that thing. You should not have touched it. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting to see what exactly happens at night at Cannibal Village. Will they be visited by some kind of entity? Will they be visited by something? Maybe. Again, I'll be very surprised if we don't get some kind of weird occurrence that happens. We saw Kenny and Jim the first night they spent there. They experienced the weird tapping on the side of the cabin. And then if you watch that scene with the subtitles on, you actually see the subtitles, the description of them state footsteps departing. So whatever was out there, there was something standing outside of the cabin that night. Something, someone. Some people have thought it might even be a feral Eloise who's been stuck in Fromville for 40 plus years, just out there in the forest living on her own, which is very well possible as well. We still have no idea what else was dragging the tent at the end of season 1. Boyd and Sarah's tent clearly got dragged a good distance. And whatever did that certainly didn't seem to be a monster, as they had the talisman hung up, and whatever was dragging that tent, the talisman certainly didn't stop it. So yeah, there's still so many questions as to what else is out there in the forest. I mean, we keep getting all of these hints of the monsters only being the tip of the spear. There's worse things out here than the monsters, etc. But what exactly does that mean? What else is out there in the forest waiting for them? And could we see something like that arrive this night at Cannibal Village, especially now that this protection might potentially be down thanks to Jade messing with the totems? So yeah, I think we're going to be for an interesting night at Cannibal Village. I would be very surprised if we don't see some weird type of supernatural occurrence. Something is going to happen. Something is going to happen. But we shall see. We shall see. Yeah, Dale's an asshole. Why the entities would attack only during night. And that's a good point. I mean, if this is some kind of entity, and are they only coming out during nighttime? And could that potentially just be another rule that these things are operating under? It seems like this place has certain rules that they can't break. And even some of the cast members, refer to it specifically as rules. Like Harold Perrineau specifically referred to the snow as being a new quote-unquote rule that they're dealing with this season. So yeah, could that, I mean, similar to the monsters, is that why the monsters only come out at night? Is it because that's just simply the rules? A lot of us have been wondering, like, does the sun physically harm the monsters? And we really don't have a definitive answer to that yet. I mean, yes, we did see the sun rise on Smiley's body, and there was no reaction. He didn't burn up in the sun or anything like that. I mean, a lot of people point to the fact that Smiley was already dead. Maybe that's the reason that the sun didn't affect him, which is possible. But just based off the little bit that we've seen, it didn't seem like the sun had any kind of physical reaction to Smiley's body. So what does that mean? Can they come out during the daylight, or do they just choose not to because it's a quote unquote rule? Maybe they're just nocturnal. I don't know. I don't know, but it would be very interesting if Boyd ever does successfully catch one of these things. If he were to trap it somewhere where we could see what exactly happened to it when it is exposed to daylight, that could be a pretty interesting scene. We got Crazy Mad for $4.99. Thank you so much, Crazy Mad, for the $4.99, my friend. I hope Kenny hooks up with Tabitha after Jim dies. Uh-oh, Kenny and all of us deserve that W. Oh, shit. Man, imagine that. Jim gets killed and Kenny kind of swoops on in. Man, that would be an interesting twist of events, if nothing else. Shit. I don't know, man. I suppose anything's possible. I suppose anything is possible in Fromville. But thank you so much for the $4.99. And I also owe you a whoa. Yeah, man, wouldn't that be interesting? Jim bites the bucket and Kenny kind of moseys in there for the W. Shit. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll find out. I guess we shall find out. Is Fatima turning into a monster? Now, this seems to be one of the more popular theories out there, that either Fatima is turning into a monster or potentially she's giving birth to a monster. I don't know. I mean, again, I did do a video a while back where I kind of explained a tinfoily theory as to how Fatima could potentially be giving birth to some kind of baby monster, so to speak. But again, that was a very tinfoily theory. If you guys want to check out that video, I'll link it in the description after the stream. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what exactly is going on with Fatima in this pregnancy. I saw a really good theory the other day that a friend brought up to me, that Fatima isn't pregnant, that she's actually being turned into a monster, and that there's just this false sense of her being pregnant. Maybe the pregnancy test was being positive, wasn't actually her actually pregnant. Maybe she is actually being prepped for being turned into a monster. And I thought that was a super interesting theory. I mean, it very well could be possible, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of go back and forth on this thing the whole time. I definitely get the feeling this pregnancy is not normal. But is she actually birthing a monster baby in particular? Are we actually going to see a baby get born with fangs and claws and all that, similar to the fears that Ellis was having? I feel like it's not going to go that route per se. But I wouldn't be surprised if this baby is born, if it's a little bit more than human, a little bit more than normal. Maybe it might look normal, but maybe we'll find out a little bit down the road that this baby is not all the way normal. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes kind of that route. But I don't know. Part of me, I'm just not really expecting to see the actual baby be born with fangs and claws and actually be a monster. But it would be cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. It would be an absolutely nuts scene if that was the case. But I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. But I guess I'll ask you guys in the chat. What do you guys think? What do you think is going on with this Fatima pregnancy? Do you think she is potentially turning into a monster herself? Do you think she is potentially giving birth to a monster or some other kind of creature? Or do you think this is ultimately going to be a normal pregnancy? Or do you think the pregnancy will even make it to term? Part of me started to think that I don't know. I can't shake the feeling that either Fatima or the baby is going to die. I'd be very surprised if both of them survive. So I'm very worried about Fatima and this baby. I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, love to hear what you guys think. What do you guys think about the whole Fatima situation? Is she turning into a monster? Is she giving birth to a monster? Or could there be something else entirely happening? What do you guys think about Fatima? What if what's in Fatima is a seed helping her transmute into a nightmare creature? Interesting. Yeah, again, it could be. Maybe that's why she has to chomp down on all this death and decay and this rotten food. Is she actually being prepped to turn into a monster, maybe? It's very possible. It's the Cannibal Village for me, bro. I love that name. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That might be MVP name of the night right there, my friend. It's the Cannibal Village for me, bro. I love that. That is great. That is friggin' great. Yeah, who will be the next main character to die? And could it potentially be Fatima? Again, I'm really worried about Fatima. I just, again, I'd be very surprised if both her and the baby make it. I think something very wrong is going to happen here, but I don't know. I don't know. Let's see what else we got. If they catch a monster and force it to stay awake in the sun, it could become a daywalker. Then they are screwed. Running day and night, Boyd will not be liked at all. Wow, Bill, you're absolutely right, man. You're on it, man. That could be very, very bad. Like if Boyd, yeah, man, if Boyd does force a monster to kind of see what happens when the sun rises, and the monster realizes that there's no negative effect to the sun, and the rest of the monsters figure that out, holy crap. I mean, we start seeing monsters running around during the day, then nobody's safe. I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to have to spend all day and all night just in their houses and never leave behind the safety of these talismans. How are they going to grow food? How are they going to survive at that point? So that would just unlock a whole new aspect to this show that would be incredibly chaotic. But I mean, it would be cool to see, maybe, though. That's an interesting one, though. I like that idea. It's a cool one. That is a cool one. Plants and Herb says Fatima was a monster all along. Maybe. You never know. You never know. Was Fatima potentially some kind of monster creature all along? Again, a lot of people seem to think that Fatima was connected to the weird, ghastly entity that was pushing Elgin underwater in season 2. And I totally understand why a lot of people thought that. I was even one of them at first, because you saw a lot of the physical similarities that creature and Fatima shared. They had the same exact facial structure. They had the same hair. They both wore kimonos, very similar to the kimono that Fatima was always running around wearing. I do think it's something different now. I do think they specifically went out and casted an Asian actress to play that role in season 3. And they put out a casting call very early on. I know we've talked about this before, but just in case anyone hadn't heard, from season 3, before they started filming, they put out a casting call where they were specifically looking for an Asian actress to fill that role. And I think that's why I think they wanted to maybe distinguish it a little bit from the whole Fatima theory that was going on. So after seeing the kimono ghastly entity creature is definitely taking on a little bit more of an Asian look in season 3, I get the feeling that whatever Elgin is seeing, it's not going to be tied to Fatima. I feel like that is an Elgin storyline solely. But who knows? Could be something else. Maybe it still could be Fatima related. That is very possible. Very possible. Yeah, I think she isn't pregnant, but turning. That hot monster is in the first season or whatever. Then Colony House was attacked. She stopped and looked into the mirror and said she couldn't choose this. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the monster that we see in season 1, the Jasmine monster who facilitates the Colony House massacre. One of the things she says to 70s porn stash dude is, "It wasn't my choice to be like this," which again is another hint that these things were maybe human at one point and something horrific happened to them. Even when we get the scene in season 2, when Christy is dissecting Smiley and giving him the autopsy, she opens him up and what does she see? A bunch of freaking human organs. Now, granted, they're human organs that were all shriveled up and haven't been working in a long time, but at least led Christy to believe that these things may have been human at some point. And again, there is hints there. There are definitely clear hints that these things might have been human and something weird happened to them. And maybe we're seeing that. Maybe we're actually seeing the process that turns people from humans into monsters. And if that is the case, what caused it? What exactly caused Fatima to get turned into a monster? If that is really what is happening, and she does come out the other end of this, a regular monster like the rest of them, what exactly caused this to begin with? What started this transformation is something we still need to learn. Because as of right now, we have no idea what caused this transformation. There's been some interesting fan theories out there, but in terms of something like actually definitive that we can 100% point to and say this was the cause, we can't really say that yet. We just don't know. They haven't revealed that yet. So if she is turning into a monster, I would love to know what kind of set her down on this path. Is it random? Is it something that happened to her in town? Is it whole numerous? Who knows what happens? Maybe that transfusion that Ellis got from Boyd, maybe there wasn't, maybe the trace of the worms weren't fully gone. This worm entity that Boyd had is something that we still know next to nothing about. Are we 100% sure that when Boyd gave Ellis that blood transfusion, he didn't somehow pass something on to Ellis? And if that was the case, are we 100% sure Ellis didn't pass something on to Fatima? I don't know. I don't know. There's still so much there that we don't know. And yeah, Fatima is so sweet. I don't want her to die. And I like Fatima too. She is one of my favorite characters in terms of like characters that, at least up until this point, yes, she's been kind of put through the ringer with this whole pregnancy. But you look at Fatima in like season 1 and for a portion of season 2, she very much kept her spirits high. And I very much liked Fatima's outlook in season 1, how she was explaining this place to Julie when Julie first arrived, bringing her up to Colony House, bringing her up to the attic, and showing her the stars and all that kind of crappiness. Kind of showcasing to Julie that even in a nightmare, there's beautiful things. So Fatima really did have a pretty strong outlook, or a pretty healthy outlook on this place to begin with. I mean, she wasn't really letting this place break her until now. Now we're really seeing her, get put through the ringer. But she is one of those, in terms of characters that are just like outright good, that are really just good, pure souls. Fatima and Tien Chen are two of the purest souls in this town, I think, for sure. So yeah, I don't want to see Fatima go. I think she's a really cool character. Indeed. I'm just not expecting to see the baby be actually born, period. And that's kind of where I'm leaning the most as well, Susie. I'm kind of right there with you. If this really is a pregnancy, I don't know, just part of me gets the feeling that this baby is not going to make it, or this baby or Fatima, one of the two isn't going to make it. If it is a pregnancy, again, it might not be. She could very well be getting turned into a monster. I do really like that theory as well. But who knows? Yeah, what if her baby is an Ankui kid, says Crazy Matt. Again, very possible too. We still have no idea what happened to these Ankui children and where they came from. Were they human at one point and were they put through some kind of weird, rigorous experiment? Were they born this way? Still so much we don't know about the Ankui children. Right? I'm unsure, right? It's how can we really know? There's just still so much we don't know when it comes to this whole Fatima pregnancy thing. A lot of really, really good theories out there, a lot of them that I really enjoy. But in terms of things that we actually know for definitive sake, yeah, we just don't know yet. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I am looking forward to seeing what happens. We got Will Smalls in the building. What is up, Will Smalls? I'm not seeing Kenny and Tabitha, but y'all know I could see Bond with Jade, but it seems emotional brother sister like. However, y'all keep acting like Kenny can't get out of suburbs. Check out Flea Bottom. Very true, Will. Very true indeed. You make a very good point there. You make a few very good points there. Yeah, in terms of the whole Kenny Tabitha thing, I don't see that happening personally. I mean, it'd be kind of weird to see that happen, just considering these two characters and their backgrounds and where they came from. I think Kenny and Tabitha hooking up is probably the least likely thing, even if Jim does die. But no, yeah, it's the whole Flea Bottom connection. Yeah, I mean, shit. Think Kenny can't mosey on down to Flea Bottom, aka Colony House? Maybe, Will. Maybe. If Fatima is pregnant with a monster baby, that may mean she can't raise it and the creatures come and take it. Ooh, interesting. Yes. I mean, yeah, you make a really good point. If this is an actual monster baby that she's birthing, I mean, you would think the monsters would probably come for it, right? Like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can definitely see that happening. If it is a monster baby, that is. Yeah, they might want to come and claim what is theirs. And one interesting thing is, we've seen not a clear occurrence, but we keep seeing this weird theme that where people get killed off in the town, all of a sudden new arrivals tend to show up in the town to replace them. Yet we haven't seen any monster. Yeah, we've seen a monster get killed in season 2. Smiley gets killed. Ever since that monster got killed, is the town trying to find a way to replace that monster? Is there, again, we keep seeing these clear instances of humans getting killed in the town and new people coming in to replace them. Could we be seeing something similar happening on the monster side, where Boyd killed one of the monsters? Now the town is recreating a monster to replace the one they lost, kind of thing. I could very well see something like that maybe being the case. And maybe that could be the cause for Fatima turning into this monster. Maybe it's some kind of balance that needs to be maintained. Who knows? Who knows? Fatima told Julie something in season 1 when both of them looked out the window. Yeah, when they were looking up at I forget the exact dialogue, but it was something along the lines of, even in a nightmare, you're capable of seeing something beautiful, even in a nightmare. Something along those lines. That wasn't the exact dialogue, I know, but it was something along those lines that she was showing her that even in this nightmarish landscape, there are still beautiful things, is basically the gist that she was trying to get through to Julie. But yeah, I guess we'll see if maybe that was some kind of foreshadowing for something else. If it's a monster baby, then Fatima is immune from the walkers. They won't kill her. Now, that's an interesting idea. Like, if she is actually getting ready to birth a monster and the monsters actually know that and they can sense it, yeah, would that give her some kind of immunity from the monsters, maybe? Would they not attack her because of that? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. And again, I really like the idea that potentially this is, all being done to replace Smiley. One monster gets killed, a new monster needs to get created to take its place, kind of thing. Again, we keep seeing this weird balance that seems to be maintained within the town of Fromville, at least on the human side. We get the big massacre at Colony House in season 1, and then season 1 ends with a whole bus full of rivals showing up to replace everybody we lost in Colony House. Now, here in season 3, it looks like we are potentially going to get at least 2 deaths. And it looks like we might actually have 2 characters replacing those 2 deaths, with Henry and Officer Acosta being 2 new arrivals in town. Tabitha returning is just replacing the spot that she vacated when she left. So Tabitha returning isn't exactly a new member of the town. Her returning is kind of just the regular number kind of being restored. But if Tien Chen and another character get killed off in season 3, could we potentially have Henry and Officer Acosta coming in to replace the 2 that get killed off, maybe? I don't know. But a lot of people have been pointing out, though, this theme that we seem to be seeing, that when someone dies in Fromville, it seems like a new arrival kind of arrives to take their place. And again, if that's the case on the human side, maybe that's the case on the monster side, where now they need a replace for good old Smiley. Good old Smiley needs a replacement. Not that anybody could ever replace Smiley, really. I mean, Smiley's the OG of OGs. When it comes to monsters, it just, I don't think we'll ever get another Smiley.
That's right. You want it? My blood is your blood now, motherfucker.
I like this game.
Man. Yes, RIP to Smiley. Hashtag gone too soon. I agree, my friend. I agree. He was definitely the best monster, right? I mean, he's the original. He was the creepiest one. I feel like Smiley was the monster that kind of helped put the show on the map in some cases. Like, a lot of people were, especially early on when the show was first getting going, that Smiley monster was on all of the promotional material for the show, and for good reason. It was such a striking and creepy image that you saw an image of this Smiley monster, and a lot of us instantly wanted to learn more about this thing. Like, what the heck is this thing? What show is that from? Kind of vibe. So yeah, he had such a distinctive look, such a creepy kind of unsettling look, that it's going to be tough to ever replace good old Smiley. I feel like Nurse Monster came a little bit close in season 2, just in terms of overall creepiness and how the Nurse Monster looks. But unfortunately, it looks like the Nurse Monster was recast in season 3, and we don't have this same actress playing the Nurse Monster anymore, which is a little bit of a bummer. And then, of course, there is good old Smiley, or Woody, as some of the chat calls him as well. Could he potentially become the next quote unquote Smiley? It definitely seems to be that he is filling a similar role. He's like one of the only monsters that has actual dialogue. He definitely seemed to be the ringleader of the ambush that took out Tien Chen. So yeah, who's going to take Smiley's place? Is it going to be Woody here? Is it going to be good old Cowboy? And then of course, yeah, there's the Granny monster as well, as Makita points out. Yeah, we had the Granny monster too, a very interesting looking monster as well. Granny monster's still there. I'm really glad we still have Granny. But yeah, I miss the original nurse monster. I must say, I definitely miss her. Did y'all notice how Cowboy Monster stopped grinning when Smiley started yelling? Yes, absolutely, Leah. It's very. It seems like they all kind of stop smiling, and they all just kind of get this dead stare, and they all just kind of focus in on Smiley. It's at that point they're not even paying attention to Boyd. Boyd just moseys on right back into the clinic. They could have easily killed Boyd, yet for some reason they're not even paying attention to Boyd at that point. And I think it's because that was such a rare occurrence. I imagine that's probably the first time they've ever even seen one of their fellow monsters get killed. Who knows? Maybe they were even under the assumption that they couldn't die. Then they see this happening and they're all just kind of zoned in on it. And Boyd Boyd luckily manages to, again, mosey on back into the clinic. But yeah, I don't know. It was definitely a bit of a change in that smile and in that look on Cowboy's face when he sees Smiley drop like that. Wasn't expecting that, were you, Cowboy? We're not expecting that. Yeah, monsters be like, so they can hurt us. Maybe it was one of those, revelation moments where the monsters realized, like, holy crap, we're not invincible kind of thing. We can be killed. I like it, maybe. And yeah, I mean, how good was he, right? The Smiley monster was just so cool. So cool. Again, I do very much think that the Smiley monster played a huge part of putting the show on the map early on, because it was just such a cool and creepy and unsettling image that you couldn't help but kind of find out what the show was all about after seeing this one image of this one dude. It's just so creepy. It drew you right in, kind of thing. So yeah, I do miss Smiley. Very much miss Smiley, for sure. For sure. Granny thinks she is boss, but Cowboy is boss. Slap, Granny. Yeah, I mean, Granny is kind of one of the OGs as well. I mean, Granny Monster was the first monster we've ever seen on the show. Like, very first episode, very first scene, boom, there's Granny Monster taking out Megan. So yeah, the Granny Monster, I feel, will always have one of those kind of OG spots among the show because she was the first. But yeah, Cowboy's like, hey, it's my time. I'm king now. Smiley's dead. I am the new king. Cowboy's time to step up. Maybe. And yeah, it definitely reminds you a little bit of the movie Smile, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Keaton. Reminds you a bit of that movie, doesn't it? For sure. For sure. And one thing I really like about the Smile, on this show anyway, is that it wasn't planned, which is something that I found very interesting. Like, one of the most recognizable features of these monsters right now is their creepy smile. And to know that they weren't originally written like that is so interesting. Apparently, the actor who was playing the Smiley monster came up with the smile on his own. And he credits old James Bond villains for the inspiration behind his smile. He actually did, I believe he did an interview, and I'm blanking. I forget what channel it was on, but it was on one of the other From channels. Had the actor on for an interview. And if anybody remembers what channel that was, please let me know in the comment section so I can maybe send people there after the stream and they can check out the interview for themselves. I remember seeing the interview. I just don't remember what channel it was on. So if anybody does remember that, please drop it in the comment section. But yes, the actor that played Smiley did an interview, and in it he explained where some of his inspiration for his smile came from, and he credited James Bond villains. He talked about how in the old James Bond movies, the villains would always have this kind of evil, maniacal, charismatic smile, and he kind of drew on that as inspiration for his smile. Apparently, they didn't originally write the character like that. That came solely from the actor, which is just an incredible kind of instinct to know something that's going to fit the character you're playing. Knowing that he hadn't even really been playing the character at that point, didn't really know where they were planning on going with his character, for him to kind of instinctually know that that smile was going to fit the character was genius. Absolute genius acting on this guy's part. And that's why I really hope I start to see this actor in some other roles in the future. I was really hoping that this role was going to blow up his career. And I hope it does at one point. The guy's a great freaking actor. I want to see Smiley in some other stuff. But I thought that was really cool, a really cool tidbit that he mentioned, that it was specifically James Bond villain smiles that kind of inspired his smile on the show From, and that he did it. And apparently they must have liked it, because it seems like they adopted that smile for the rest of the monsters. And it became such a hallmark staple of his look in particular, that he just nailed it. Again, sometimes actors just know. They just know the character they're playing so well. They know what will work. They know what won't work, and they play with those things. And a good director will recognize that in an actor. When you have a good director like Jack Bender, who is incredibly experienced in directing television, he's directed some of the best television episodes for some of the biggest shows in history, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, all kinds of stuff Jack Bender has directed. The guy is probably the best director in TV right now. So for, a director like that to recognize something in their actor, and for the actor to realize, like, okay, I think this will fit my character, and just to kind of instinctually know, again, I cannot give the Smiley actor enough credit for coming up with that smile, because it really did become a hallmark, not for just his character, but for really the entire show. What's one of the first things we think about when we see these monsters, or when we think of these monsters, what's one of the first things that pops up? Their creepy freaking smile. It has become such a hallmark of their identity. And I think that is in large part thanks to the actor who plays Smiley. I believe his name was Justin something. But yeah, just absolutely genius. And in terms of just knowing the character that you're playing and knowing what would work for it, it's just, I love seeing genius moments of acting like that, and moments that are widely improv as well. So yeah, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Let's see what else we got. What else are we looking forward to in episode 4, guys? Let's see. What else are we looking to in episode 4? Now, we do have some stills. Now, we did take a look at these stills in the latest stream, but we will take one more look at them before we end here tonight. Again, this is going to be, I know this is a little bit of a faster stream than I usually do, but I promise tomorrow night we will be going all night ready and waiting for the next episode to load up on our screen. So Saturday and Sunday night streams will definitely be a lot longer than tonight. I just figured tonight, I finished my work a little bit early, so I figured let me get on here and do a Fromville Friday stream. It's been a while since we've done a Fromville Friday, so I figured let's get on here, let's hang out with the awesome chat, and let's see what kind of predictions you guys have for episode 4. So let me get to these stills. Let me pull up these stills, and we can take a look at some of the things we can expect to see in episode 4. Now, again, I cannot wait to see this episode. I really think this is going to be one of the most exciting episodes of the season, just based on everything that they've set up in episode 3 for this episode. Looks like this one's going to be a doozy. Looks like it's going to be a doozy. But let's see what else we got. Of course, now we looked at these the other night, but I figured, take one more quick look at them. We got the monster that is out there in the middle of the road, covered in blood, so that does not bode well. And I get the feeling that this is probably something we've already seen in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler per se. We did see in the season 3 trailers that at least one of these EMTs seems to be laying down on the road, either injured or maybe dead, and maybe this blood is connected to that. I get the feeling that these monsters are going to lay some kind of ambush for the ambulance, like we talked about Tuesday night on the show. We were looking at this photo, and a lot of people came to the consensus that this is a monster laying a trap for the ambulance, and I 100% agree. That was the first thing that popped into my head as well. So yeah, what exactly is going to go on? Are we going to see this driver EMT potentially get out of the ambulance and get diced up by one of these monsters after this ambush is laid? Maybe. Let's see what else we got. We got Justin White. Wow, thank you so much, Justin, for the gift of the 5 memberships. Wow, thank you, my friend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 memberships gifted from the awesome Justin. Justin's another one who's been here since day one with us, diving into all things From and House of the Dragon. So I very much appreciate you, Justin. You've been an awesome member of the community, man. You've been a staple in this community since day one, and I very much appreciate you. I appreciate everybody. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Hopefully you guys know that by now. But thank you so much for the gifted memberships, and welcome to all of the new members who just got a new membership gifted. You guys are much, much welcome. And Justin, my pal, my brother, I owe you a whoa. Hell yes. Hell yes. Thank you, my friend. Very much appreciate that. Thank you. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And again, I try not to get too sappy on these freaking streams anymore. I try to keep it business oriented, but I just can't thank each and every one of you enough. You guys have been super supportive of the channel, of me, of Ravener, of Aldous and Snug, and everything that we do here. I can't thank each and every one of you enough. You guys really have been the most supportive chat I ever could have asked for in a million years. You guys go above and beyond, promoting the channel, pushing out the channel, sharing the videos. And I see all of that. And I can't thank each and every one of you enough. You guys really are. This is the coolest community I've ever been a part of, without doubt. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I wonder if Victor's father will make it. Me too. I really hope he does. I really want to see that reunion. And I know a lot of you do as well, in terms of seeing this long-awaited reunion between father and son, Victor and Henry. I mean, Henry thought his entire family was dead for the last 40-plus years. Victor probably thought his father was dead too. Who knows? So to see that we might potentially get this kind of reunion, yeah, I really want to see that scene. And again, I know a lot of you guys do as well. And that's what the show's all about, sometimes, diving into some of these more human moments. And hopefully we get that. Hopefully we get that. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. Hal mentioned Cowboy, etc., thinking we can die now. Show never showed us, but what if one were captured, a monster, and then decapitated it? I mean, surely it would be dead. I 100% agree with you. And I've actually brought this up in the past in terms of 2 methods that I get the feeling would probably work in killing these monsters are fire and decapitation. I mean, fire and decapitation kill just about anything in pop culture at this point. There's not many creatures out there that can survive fire and getting their head cut off. So yeah, I do get the feeling if they were to cut one of these heads off of one of these monsters, that would probably take it out. I would bet. I think that would do the trick. Just like I think fire would do the trick ultimately as well. Will we ever get a chance to actually see either of these methods employed? Maybe. I hope so. But I do get the feeling they would both work. Yeah, Pennywise vibes. Heavy Pennywise vibes. Not just like the monsters, but the whole show and the town in general. Like everything about From has like super, super Stephen King vibes to it, doesn't it? Like just everything about it. The middle America town, the aesthetic of the town, the characters, the monsters, the setting. It's super Stephen King vibe to it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Y'all think the LSD is going to be a major contributing factor? I think it's low-hanging fruit. And it could be. It could just be one of those red herring things that they're wanting us to kind of grab for, and maybe it ends up being nothing. That's very possible as well. I mean, I think we're starting to see a little bit of a theme, though. I mean, just in terms of Jade and Miranda both being seemingly under some kind of tryptamine when they got stuck here, or some kind of tryptamine being the cause of their visions. I think there maybe could be something more to it, but you bring up a good possibility, Shorty. It could just be, like you mentioned, low-hanging fruit, one giant red herring. That's very possible. Could go either way, I suppose. Yeah. Could go either way. Yeah, killing Smiley was a major F-up. I do kind of wish they would have killed off a different monster, to be honest, Howdy. I'm with you there. I mean, as cool as that scene was, and it was a really cool scene. It was acted to perfection by both Harold Perrineau and the Smiley actor. They played that scene so well. As much as I loved it, yes, I would have preferred to see Boyd take out a different monster other than Smiley, just because I want to see more Smiley. Again, it's just, he brought a really unsettling feeling to every scene he was in. Every time I saw Smiley on screen, I genuinely got that kind of creepy, unsettling feeling right in my gut. And that's the kind of feeling you want to invoke in your audience when you're portraying a horror series like this. A series that is a little bit more visceral, that does kind of predicate a little bit more on the fear factor. You want characters that are going to instill fear in the audience. So yeah, I was a little bit disappointed that they chose the Smiley monster of all of the monsters to kill off. Like, out of all of these monsters, you choose the coolest monster to kill off? Why? I mean, maybe there's a little bit more to it. Who knows? Maybe there was some kind of scheduling conflict behind the scenes, and maybe that actor wasn't available anymore. That's why they went with him. Those kind of things tend to happen a lot in filmmaking, where sometimes something as simple as a scheduling conflict will get you killed off a show. It's happened to so many characters in the past. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I was hoping that they were going to kill some other monster and not Smiley, because it would be nice to still have him on the show. I do miss the creepy Smiley feeling every time he popped up. I hope we get a flashback stories to show Smiley's origin, at least an episode of him. Now, that would be cool. That would be really cool. Like, if they are going to showcase the monster's origins at some point, and by all intents and purposes, I do vaguely remember reading an article where they stated that at some point we will get the definitive origin to the monsters. That is something we will eventually find out. That would be great if we do find out and it's like the Smiley one. Like, let us experience how these monsters get turned into monsters through Smiley's POV. Show them as a human. If they were human before they got turned into monsters, show him as a human and show what exactly happened to him and how he got turned into a monster. That would be so cool, not to just, for us as the audience to give us an answer for how the monsters are created, but it would also be really cool to see Smiley back on screen again, So yeah, I would love to see that. If we ever do get a definitive flashback origin to how these things were created, I hope they bring Smiley back and do it through his POV. That would be really cool. Really cool. I like that idea. That's a good idea. Good stuff. Good stuff there. Yeah, who doesn't want some more Smiley? Who doesn't want more Smiley? Stephanie says, I'm still convinced Fatima is turning into a monster. And again, she very well could be. She very well could be turning into a monster. And again, part of me just keeps going back to the whole Smiley thing, where we see this other instance where humans get killed off, new humans come in. How do we know that if a monster gets killed off, this place doesn't need to create a new monster to replace Smiley? And maybe that's Fatima. So yeah, no, I think you guys could be right. She very well could potentially be turning into a monster. That's very possible. Very possible. Awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. They better not kill off Acosta and Henry and the other paramedic. I think one already dies, but it's going to be interesting to see who survives in this ambulance. Yes, just based off the season 3 trailer, the only thing we know for sure is it seems like one of the EMTs might get severely injured or killed, just based on seeing one of the EMTs kind of lying on the ground in the season 3 trailer. It's only a super, super quick flash of a scene, but we do clearly see one of the EMTs laying in the ground. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what this ambush is, if these monsters are setting some kind of ambush. If, the driver gets out and tries to walk up to this, lady to see if she's hurt, and then maybe the monster just gets up and kind of just takes the dude out. But then, like you said, what's going to happen to the rest of the people in the ambulance? We still got Tabitha, we still got Henry, we still got Officer Acosta, and we still have the second EMT. There's 2 EMTs in there. Could the rest of them survive, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Part of me really thinks both of these EMTs are going to get it. I just can't help but get this whole red shirt feeling when it comes to EMTs. And for anyone who maybe doesn't know what the red shirt expression is, in Star Trek, there's this expression called red shirts, where basically back in the day, if you were a background character and you were wearing a red shirt, 9 times out of 10, you got killed off. It was just, so it kind of became a saying where people refer to quote unquote red shirts as characters that are definitely going to die, definitely going to get killed off. So again, part of me just can't shake the feeling that both of these EMTs are going to be red shirts and they are going to both get it. But maybe one of them will survive. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, can't wait to see. Can't wait to see what is going to be going on. Man, and it looks like now we are less than 24 hours away, guys. Less than 24 hours away from episode 4 hitting our screens. It is 12:13 Eastern Standard Time right now here over on the East Coast. And that means we will be getting episode 4 on MGM Plus tomorrow night at midnight. And I can't wait. I cannot friggin' wait to see this next episode and see just how exactly it's going to go. Again, who's going to live? Who's going to die? Is everybody in this ambulance going to make it? Are they all going to get turned into, sliced meat? Who knows? Will we actually get this reunion between Victor and Henry, father and son? What kind of weird revelation or what kind of weird answer are we going to get through Victor and Sarah's story time? What exactly is going to happen there? So much stuff we have to look forward to in this next episode, guys, and I cannot wait to break it down with each and every one of you. Of course, tomorrow night, we will be live for our usual Saturday night show. We do a pregame show every Saturday. And we kind of hang out and kill some time while we wait for episode 4 to load up on our screens. So tomorrow night we will be doing that like we usually do, live right here on the channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will be hanging out right up until the new episode drops at midnight. So definitely come back tomorrow night and hang out with us for our pregame show. And then on Sunday night, we always do a live watch party right here on the channel. So anyone who doesn't have a chance to watch it right at midnight when it drops on Saturday, or even if you have a chance to watch it, then you want to come back and watch it for a second time. Again, watching these episodes more than once is always very beneficial because you always tend to pick up some things in the background that you maybe didn't catch the first viewing. So even if you are planning on watching it tomorrow night at midnight, come back, hang out with us Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the channel. We will be doing a live watch party of episode 4. You can hop right into our Discord and watch it right there with everybody else, or you can watch it on your own screen and sync up and hit play at the same time as the rest of us and watch along that way. Either or, whatever you prefer. But we will be continuing our Fromville weekends right here on the channel, starting again with our pregame show tomorrow night and our live watch party Sunday night as well. And then, of course, Ravener and I will be live Tuesday night as well for our official episode 4 live breakdown and discussion stream. And I can't wait for it. Again, I really have a feeling this is going to be one of the best episodes this season. I cannot wait to see what they have in store for us. Cannot wait to see. Randall's going to come back from the dead. Maybe. Is Randall going to die and then come back from the dead? I suppose anything is possible at this point. It is all possible. And as Tiebreak says, yes, it is always party time in the night time. Absolutely, my friend. And welcome, Ty. Always good to see you as well, my friend. That's what we try to do here. We try to just keep the party going, keep the party moving along, always keep moving forward. That is the goal. And of course, always to have fun. That is the ultimate goal of this channel, just to have fun, diving into a show that we all love and seeing where this weird kind of road, all these twists and turns, where exactly they are going to take us. That is what it's about at the end of the day, coming together, having fun as an awesome fandom and trying to collectively solve these crazy mysteries together and see just where exactly Fromville is ultimately going to go. And that's what we like to do here on the channel, and I love that anybody who comes and hangs out with us, I can't appreciate each and every one of you enough. You guys have been so supportive this year in terms of everything that we've been doing, whether it's the live streams, whether it's the recorded videos. We've been getting awesome numbers. And again, I don't do this for numbers solely. I do this just for the general love of the show. I absolutely love this show, and I love this fandom. I genuinely love getting on here and talking about From with each and every one of you. I would be, even if there was only 10 people in my chat, I would still be doing the exact same thing I'm doing right now because I love talking about this show with everybody. But I can't deny the support has been so overwhelming. I can't thank each and every one of you enough. So from the bottom of my heart, you guys really are the best. So we will be continuing to keep this party going every single week right here on the channel every Saturday and Sunday night, we will be diving into our pregame show and our live watch party. And every Tuesday, we will be diving into our live breakdown and discussion, along with plenty of other pre-recorded videos that we are planning. And once we get around episode 5 or 6, right around the midway point of season 3, we are going to be doing a very special Fromville trivia giveaway stream where I am teaming up with a few other people. Dana and Scarlett and a few other people are going to be helping me out. We are going to be doing a awesome Fromville trivia night. Now, we are going to come up with some pretty interesting trivia questions that only true From fans will be able to answer. And we will be giving away some awesome custom From stuff, everything from custom-made t-shirts to 3D printed talismans. I can't wait for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm in the process right now of getting it all set up, and hopefully we can do it probably right around episode 6, right around the episode 6 mark, around halfway through the season, I'm hoping. But we are planning a very fun Fromville trivia night giveaway where, again, you can win some awesome Fromville custom shirts that Dana is going to be donating. And I'm talking to a few people about getting some 3D printed talismans made as well. And those will also, we'll be giving those away also as well to anybody who gets any of our Fromville trivia questions right. So it should be fun. I am very, very much looking forward to that. Very, very much looking forward to it. And of course, I will keep everybody posted and updated when we are getting ready to do it definitively. I will make sure everybody knows when and where we are going to be doing it and what night we will be doing it on. But again, big thank you to everybody for coming out tonight. Cannot wait to dive into this episode tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Again, I think this is going to be a really good one based on everything that they're setting up from episode 3, based on the trailer for episode 4. It's looking like this one is going to be an absolute masterpiece. And yes, I do see a few people talking about Teacup down there. Absolutely, we are definitely going to be doing some Teacup stuff. Anyone who has not seen Teacup, as Xavier Anderson points out, definitely check it out. If you like From, you will definitely like Teacup. It is such a good show. As of right now, there's only been 2 episodes out so far. It's on Peacock, and Peacock is a free streaming service, so pretty much everybody should have access to it. So if you search the TV series Teacup, you should be able to find it with relative ease. Again, it is so freaking good. It's only been 2 episodes so far, and I am already absolutely hooked. So definitely check out Teacup if you guys haven't already. We're definitely going to be talking about that one next week right here on the channel. And again, if you're a From fan, you will probably like Teacup. It's just super, super trippy, super creepy, a lot of the same vibes and a lot of the same themes. So again, if you're a From fan, check out Teacup. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're definitely going to be talking about that show right here on the channel next week. So you guys have plenty of time to catch up on it. Again, there's only been 2 episodes so far, so you'll have maybe next Friday, we'll do the Teacup stream. Instead of doing a Fromville Friday next week, maybe we'll do a Teacup stream next Friday right here on the channel, and we'll talk about episodes 1 and 2. So you guys should have plenty of time to catch up on that. Again, there's only 2 episodes. They're not super long, so check those out when you get a chance. It's an awesome freaking show. Again, I'm already freaking hooked. I am already hooked on Teacup, and it has only just begun. And just to give you a little taste, this is some of the stuff you can expect from Teacup. Nothing spoilery, but this is the show, Teacup on Peacock. So if you guys are looking for it, make sure you find stuff like this. It is with Scott Speedman. He's a phenomenal actor. Anybody who remembers Scott Speedman from any of the Underworld movies, or if you watched Animal Kingdom, phenomenal actor Scott Speedman is. He is heading this cast up. Awesome stuff. This is Teacup right here. Again, it looks like it's a very interesting show. It's basically based on this farm where this family is trapped on this farm, and they can't leave the perimeter of the farm because there is something outside in the perimeter hunting anybody who leaves the barrier. And there's really not much more we know about it yet, but it's so good. The characters on it are so good. The feeling, the aesthetic, the sets on it are incredibly creepy looking. I think this is going to be a very, very good series. So if you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check out Teacup. It is on the Peacock streaming service, which, again, I'm pretty sure Peacock is free. So it's not a streaming service that you have to pay for or anything like that. You should be able to watch this show for free as is. Just check out Peacock, download Peacock if you haven't downloaded it already. I'm pretty sure it's a free streaming service. But this one, again, this one's starting off to look very promising. I cannot wait to see where it goes. Super trippy, super creepy. A lot of the same kind of vibes and themes that From is playing with, you'll see here in Teacup as well. So check this one out, guys, if you haven't already. And we will definitely be talking about Teacup next week right here on the channel. But until next time, again, big thank you to everybody who has been coming out every single week and supporting us. You guys have been so freaking cool. Cannot thank you all enough. Tomorrow night, right here on the channel, I will be going live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Episode 4 pregame show. We will be hanging out, talking all things Episode 4 predictions while we for the new episode to upload on MGM tomorrow night at midnight. So we'll be going live around 3 hours early, so you can come and hang out with us if you want to, and we will be having a proper pregame tailgate stream tomorrow night for episode 4. And then, of course, Sunday night, we will be doing an encore watch party right here on the channel where we'll be watching all of episode 4 again, right here in the Discord and here on the channel. So definitely come back and hang out for that as well. And then, of course, Tuesday, we will be diving into our episode 4 deep dive, Ravener and I. So be on the lookout for that as well. But again, big thank you to everybody for all of the support. And again, to anyone out there in the affected areas based on these hurricanes, my thoughts and prayers are with each and every single one of you down there. I've seen some of the damage, and it has been absolutely devastating. I hate seeing stuff like this. And I know we do have a few people that watch the channel and that are in the Discord that are in the affected area. So I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you guys are okay. I hope all your family and loved ones are accounted for. And if there's anything I can do, even something small, never hesitate to reach out to me and ask me. I am here all the time. Definitely don't hesitate to reach out. And again, I'm trying to set up some kind of charity stream. I might even reach out to a few other From creators to see if they want to be involved too, where we might set up some kind of charity stream where we find a really good charity that is doing really good work helping out the hurricane victims down there, and maybe we can do some kind of fundraiser for them where we do a charity stream and see if we can help out some people in need. But of course, not required. Of course, nobody's required to do anything. All we ask is that you guys come out, hang out with us, hit that like button on your way out if you can, and come hang out with us on the next one. But be on the lookout. I am in the process of trying to put together some kind of donation fundraiser stream to help out everybody who was affected, because man, the damage seemed to be really bad down there, and you hate to see stuff like that, especially knowing that there are some awesome members of the Fromily that were down there in the affected area. So I will be working on that, and again, maybe I'll reach out to a few From creators and see if they want to get involved as well. Maybe we can do some kind of event night stream where we do a proper kind of donation or charity stream where all of the proceeds will go to helping out the hurricane victims. I am actively working on that. So again, big thank you for everybody for joining tonight. And my thoughts and prayers go out to everybody who was affected by this horrible natural disaster. You hate to see stuff like this, but I hope everybody is safe and sound, and I hope your loved ones are accounted for. And worldly possessions, as devastating as it is, worldly possessions can be replaced, but you guys cannot be replaced. So stay safe out there, guys. Be kind to one another. And as always, keep those tinfoil hats on, folks, and we will see you on the next one.